This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city rising. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the folk. Singing this.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and this is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today on this beautiful Hot Take Tuesday. Super excited, man. I'm stoked to get to hang out with you all on the #1 morning show. What's going on? How y'all doing today? Super excited that y'all hanging out with me. It is Tuesday, March the 21st of the year 2023, and we're hanging out here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I am Stephen Daniels, a.k.a. Stephen D, a.k.a. Mr. Spread Kindness. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D, SKPL, Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media, including Twitter at Stephen D, SKPL. Make sure you follow Miami Sports Music on all outlets at Miami Sports Music, and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. All right. Make sure y'all do that. It's important. It's a big deal. At MIA Sports Music. Want to remind you all as well. Hey, look, hit the like button. If you haven't hit it already, what are you waiting for? Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that bell notification. Big deal. You just click it. Ding. And you hit all notifications. And that way, anytime we get, to go live, you're here. You're good. Okay. Super excited about it. All right. Also, hey, look, if you want to sign up and become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. I would love to get 2 new members to the channel today. Can we get 2 new members to the channel? That is today's goal. 2 new members to the channel. Okay. I just put the link in the chat. Also, I just saw in the chat, Caslin. I'm here for Nando and Sarney. So am I, Caslin. So am I. I ain't mad at you. Thank you for the $5 donation, Kaz. Way to get it started on this Hot Take Tuesday. Super excited about it. Hey, look, you also want to help the channel grow. You can help the channel grow by donating. There's lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. You can also use Cash App or PayPal, which is $MSM Podcast Network. See the QR code that's right on your screen, or MSM Podcast Network. And again, use the QR code that's right on your screen. All right. Want to give a big shout out to sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports, Hangry Owls, Vasasor, a great place to sit.com, and Tail Greeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android devices. And want to remind y'all, we're doing 3 awesome tailgates and meet and greets next year for the Miami Dolphins season. We will be doing the FedEx takeover in Washington, the Philly Finvasion, and the Baltimore beatdown in Baltimore. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. All right. Make sure y'all do that. It's going to be good stuff. All right. Today is Hot Take Tuesday, but we're going to do a little different. It is my Dolphins mock draft PFF. We're going to go into the PFF. We're going to do a lot of different mock drafts today. Where should the Dolphins go in the draft? I'm going to have Nando on. I'm going to have Jason Sarney. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk a lot of Dolphins, potential draft picks, and where should the Dolphins go. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get started, how's everybody doing? Super excited. Last night was a lot of fun. I am, still kind of, I'm a big baseball fan, as a lot of you know. So last night, the World Baseball Classic was on. It was Mexico versus Japan. And I think it might have been one of the best baseball games I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, that's how good it was last night. Mexico was up 3-0 most of the game. Then Yoshida, who's the new $90 million man for the Boston Red Sox, gets up with 2 men on and ties the game up 3-3. And by the way, this is after them having the bases loaded the 2 innings prior twice. And then there was this awesome guy last night, Randy Arozarena. I think I said his name correctly. He's the left fielder for the Mexico team. This guy plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. I have never seen a colder player, man. This dude was awesome last night. I mean, absolutely amazing. Had ice in his veins, made some crazy catches, robbed a home run, and made himself a legend in baseball last night. Like, the dude sat there like this after catching. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. If you go on my Twitter, you'll see all the links to all the stuff to this guy. Like, I'm a huge Manny Machado fan, aka Miami. But man, this guy, Randy Arozarena, new favorite player in baseball. Love it. This guy is it. My man was wearing a sombrero, for pregame workouts. Manza Chill said, Randy been that guy. Dude, that guy is awesome. And the plays he made last night was absolutely amazing. But man, last night, bottom of the ninth, Japan wins in a walk-off. And I'm not mad at it. Japan versus USA tonight, 7 p.m. championship game, World Baseball Classic. It could easily be the most watched game in baseball history. The last time Japan played, not the last night, but the night, the game before that, they had 65 million viewers in Japan for that game. I know they broke that record last night against Mexico. I know they did. And they're going to break it again tonight against the USA in the championship game. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be tweeting all night. It's going to be awesome. I'm stoked about it. In fact, I don't remember being more stoked about it. I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm obviously a big baseball fan, but tonight is pretty awesome because my kid, my daughter, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here in a minute. My daughter is doing baseball for the first time. And so I'm pretty stoked about it because, it's my daughter's 7 years old. I played baseball a lot when I was a kid. I'm a huge baseball fan. I don't like anything more than I like the Dolphins. Obviously, that's why I do a baseball channel. I mean, a Miami Dolphins channel. But man, last night my daughter's getting ready because we're doing baseball, and today's the first day. Today's the first day of practice, and I'm super stoked about it. I was hoping I could load up a couple photos so I could show you guys. Matter of fact, I'll do this just because I can't, for some reason, it's not sharing the screen. So this is my daughter last night. We did a photo shoot. This is her last night. I'll put it on the big screen. We did a photo shoot last night. She's ready to go. Look at her, man. She's ready to go. She's got her cleats on. That's my kid, man. What can I say? I'm a proud daddy. She's ready to play baseball with the boys. She didn't want to play softball with the girls. She's like, I want to play baseball like the Orioles. I was like, I ain't mad at you, baby. We can make it happen. So she was watching the game with me last night too. And she's like, man, look at the pitcher and look at the guy catch. And love it. I'm excited. I'm the assistant coach. Today is our first night, 6 p.m. First baseball practice. Yes. She's going to be awesome. You got her on that Barry Bonds regiment, hitting dingers. I'm mad at you. Clemente says, I hope your daughter has the most fun. I'm excited about it, man. It's gonna be awesome, man. But yeah, so that's what I was doing last night. And just thought it was awesome. So tonight, 7 p.m., Fox Sports 1, USA, Japan, probably the most watched baseball game in the history of baseball will be tonight. So yeah, I will be watching and it will be awesome. All right. Anyways, so that's what we got. Ritter says, bring the orange slices. They don't do that anymore. Because I did basketball this past year for my son. And I was like, do parents bring snacks? They don't have that anymore. Maybe they will for baseball. But they didn't have it for football. I mean, for basketball. So we'll see what happens. All right, man. We got a big show lined up for you today. A lot of stuff to kind of get into. I got my man Jason Sarney in the building. Jason's going to be coming in and out. He's on Daddy Patrol today, just like I was a couple days ago. It's going to be awesome. The best baseball going to bring the win home. Mike Trout, let's go. Kaz, it's going to be crazy. Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout. Imagine those guys on the same team. Oh, yeah, they are the Angels, and they've never won anything. But nonetheless, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome, man. Ritter says, crazy. What? I know, right, man? Parents don't have to bring the snacks no more. Marino's go. I'll tell you, it can get a little crazy. I'm in the chat reading some of your guys' chat. Trust me, I know. But didn't she look like a boss, though? I got to go back to it real quick just so y'all can see, because she looked like a boss. Look at that. Here, I'll just one more time for y'all. Come on. Look at that. That kid looks like she is ready. She's got the foot up. She already knows how to hold the baseball. She's got the biggest smile in the world. Who cares about Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout? My daughter's about to kill it. Yeah. Sorry. Just proud daddy moment. That's all. Anyways, it's going to be awesome. What's up? How y'all doing today, man? I know I don't have a lot of you on because a lot of you guys are watching TD and Miss Finns was on. I know you guys are watching all those other shows in the morning sometimes. Anyways, yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to obviously be talking Miami Dolphins draft. Jason Sarney is in the back, so I'm just waiting for him to come on. And obviously Nando should be up here any minute. So that should be good too. So as soon as I get those guys on, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Clemente says Shohei Ohtani could arguably be the greatest baseball player of all time when it's all said and done. Clemente, I don't think you're wrong. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine the other day. Yeah, so I think it'll be good. I was trying to explain to my daughter, this guy pitches, he hits, and he plays outfield. He's all at all-star level. Like, not even good. All-star level. It's going to be awesome. Trucker Sean says, we here, Steven. I ain't mad at you, Trucker Sean. Anyways, all right, let me bring in my brother from another mother, my man. Didn't know he was coming on this morning. I had to call him last minute. Be like, bro, my guy, you got to come on this morning. And so he did. He politely obliged because he's a gentleman, a handsome gentleman at that. Because we're all handsome gentlemen up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Sarney. You look like you have
everybody.
Jason.
A little crazy in my house today. Got a sick kid. Got a puppy all over the place here. I'm not.
You are just
myself, but I'll tell you, I'm feeling very good.
You feeling very good?
I don't feel physically terrific, but I feel very good.
You know what you look here, guy. What is it? Analyze that. Look here.
Because I'm sitting on news, Steven.
Jason.
I'm sitting on Fun Dolphin news that I'm not allowed to say just yet, and I know.
You're sitting on Fun Dolphins news?
I am. I swear to God, I can't say it just yet, but people are going to be happy. I promise you, people are going to be happy.
All right. So do me a favor. Are you sitting on potential trade or potential free agent?
I'm talking status quo. The status quo is going to be, you know what? This is fantastic news, and that's all I'm going to say.
And when should it break?
That's all I'm going to say right now.
When should it break?
It could be in the next half hour. It could be a day or two away.
Okay. All right, Jason. We're on.
But you're going to know it
what you're saying, man.
You're going to know it because I woke up today knowing that something was going to happen. I didn't know the extent. The extent is good.
Look.
The extent is good.
Wait to find out. I can't wait to find out. You know who else can't wait to find out? He's in the back. He's got his camera off, so I'm just waiting to put his camera back on, and then I can bring him up here because we got an awesome show today. I got the dog. You like my little background, my football background today? the football field background on the screen, Jason? You didn't like it. You didn't say anything.
Your background on the screen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got one eye on one thing, one eye on you. This is a nutty day. I'm just apologizing in general. I'm literally waiting
for the news so that you can drop it.
I'm waiting for a green light. I swear on my life.
Time out. Could you be breaking news up here?
Maybe. Very maybe. Very maybe.
So what he's saying to you all is keep it right here. Keep your screens locked to the #1 Miami fan morning show. You never know what might happen. You never know what might occur. Let's go.
Basically what I'm saying.
Jose Valdez says, Sarney, blink twice if it's Wagner and 3 times if it's a running back.
All right. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to throw a little Larry David. I'm going to curb everyone's enthusiasm. Now, there's doubles, there's triples, and there's home runs. All right? Those were home run mentions. I'm not a power hitter. I'm like the guy that had WTP growing up. I had warning track power. But I'll tell you what I love more than anything. Consistent doubles.
Okay.
Double. Stretch a triple.
So what you're saying is what could break is not a home run.
It's not a home run. I'm going to tell you right now. If you think that I'm setting up for a Wagner, I'm not. If you think that I'm setting up for a Derrick Henry trade, I'm not. I'm setting up for something that should be, was probably not going to be, but you know what? Let it be.
Let it be.
And let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Okay, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to do that to y'all. I don't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen,
remember yesterday, and it was a hard day's night with this news. I don't be the reference.
What's up, Nando?
How's it going, Jason,
Oh,
Mr. Steven? Jason, you got my blood pumping this morning, man, already with that news.
Folks, because there will be celebration. There will be celebration.
It's a celebration.
I need it, man. Ooh, I got the stuffy nose. I've got the clear heart now, though, and that's all thanks to you, Mr. Jason Sarney. So that's all I needed, bro. Steven, thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited. I'm excited,
man.
I don't need home runs. I like the doubles, you know, especially I know you were talking.
We're using all these baseball references this morning after the World Baseball Classic game. I think that was amazing.
I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but I saw
that. I would do anything to live down there with you right now because I would so have been at the last 2 nights in Miami at Marlins Stadium, and I would definitely be there tonight for probably the most watched baseball game in history, Japan versus USA championship game, 7:00. Meet me at the yard, cuz you play ball like a girl. Okay.
I know. I'm not the biggest baseball guy. I've seen the Sandlot.
By the way, I guess
I want to go to the game.
That line anymore now that my daughter's playing baseball with the boys. I shouldn't say that line anymore, huh? Because now it'd be an awesome thing. You play ball like a girl. Yeah, my daughter who's about to wreck your sons out here on the baseball field. Let's go.
Don't they make fun of the line on Sandlot 2? Like, because they have the girls in Sandlot 2.
The fact that there was a Sandlot 2 is sad to me, okay? Because
they put the girls in it. I think it's
got you, but
it's the same nerdy kid. I think he's the dad now or something.
Squints Polidorus?
No, the main character dude.
Oh, the guy who was the baseball announcer.
Yeah. Smalls. I think Smalls is the main character. It might be Squints. I know it's supposed to be like a nerdy person.
Character, but the movie belongs to Benny the Jet Rodriguez, and I don't want to hear it any other way.
That is too true, Mr. Sarney, right there.
High flyers that made you jump higher, run faster than any of the. Remember the PF Flyers.
The PF.
I'll tell you what, Steven, remind me of. I'm not gonna throw. It's not. I saw Sandlot with my kids. I showed Sandlot to my kids when they were like 5 and 2. You know, real young, and they laughed their asses off for the dog scene running through the town.
Oh, doggy. Ooh, a big doggy.
I recorded them as that scene was on, hoping that they would give me a good like laugh track or whatever as it happened. I'll send it to you, Steven. It's like dad heaven with that movie.
Sarney, when y'all start mock draft and scream when Steven wants to pick a position, we'll be covered with your news.
You know what? My voice is not terrific right now, but maybe I'll do something fun.
Feel you, Jason.
I'll try. I gotta tell you, I don't think it matters in this case. I really don't, but sure, I'll oblige. Damn, this coffee tastes good today.
That's when you know when the coffee's hitting extra nice in the morning, Jason.
Extra nice. You know, real talk. So the last time I flew down to Miami, Allie and her husband Jared picked me up. It was for the last game of the season. And we had the Cuban coffee. What is it called? It's like a small shot. Yes. Okay. Bro. Those things, they hit hard, cuz I went to a real Cuban spot, had a real Cuban breakfast, had the shot, you know, the coffee shot, and Allie's like, you just sip it, okay? Don't take it to the head. You're gonna be. And so I sipped it, and then I took it back, and then I was like this for the next hour and a half.
For your first time? Yeah.
I have a similar.
I've never had it before. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone knows I love my coffee. I love it. And the first time, not the first time, but like, you know, 2019 was like kind of my jump off point really in like social media, you know, with the Dolphins and everything. And I was down there for that Baltimore Raven game, which was a nightmare, of course. But I went with a buddy of mine.
I was there. It was horrible. I drove 18 hours into that game into a hurricane.
I was
Only
there
time
early.
I've ever driven down there, and I'll never do it again.
It was not fun, but the whole weekend was a good experience for me, hanging out with my brother-in-law. And, you know, he took me early in the morning. We had a fun night prior, so we needed some coffee. He took me to this little spot, little dive right around the corner from the stadium. And as I like leaned over to like order the coffee, he like literally like shoved me back like, bro. And then he ordered like a pro, and it was exactly that. And I was just sipping this awesome Cuban like espresso essentially. And that's all I needed for the day, man. That was
Jose says, Steven, that's an upper. That stuff is strong and powerful.
It kept me going through that game.
Like I said, Cuban food is delicious. Cuban sandwich with black beans, Cuban pork. So what are they called? They look like mozzarella sticks, but they're not. They're like
pequeños.
Yes, I had those. I had black beans.
Okay, Steven.
Dude, I had rice. It was, and I guess some eggs might have been in there too. I'm not sure, but
little Steven in Miami over here,
bro. I'm sorry. All right, look, I think Miami is the greatest place on earth. It's not Disney World. It's Miami. Okay, they have the best food. I'm not gonna say it out loud. They have there's beautiful views, is what I will say there. Okay,
beautiful people, bro.
Beautiful people. That's right, Nando. Thank you. I was trying to say it in a way that my wife wouldn't hear in the other room. But yes, they do. Okay. And the food is delicious. Did I mention that as a fat man, did I mention that the food was delicious? And they have the greatest football team of all time. I'm just saying.
What's there not to like?
Where can you go wrong in South Florida? You can't do it. I live in Baltimore, and I hate it. I hate it here. The weather is bipolar. It was literally 25 degrees this weekend. It might even be 25 degrees now. Like, I hate it.
Yeah, it was chilly down here. I assume you guys up north must have been feeling it a lot harder than I did.
What is cold to you, Nando?
It was 66 down here, bro. Cut me some slack.
Please.
In March.
We are wearing shorts in 66-degree weather, Nando. Get out of here with that, cuz.
Me too, bro. But I went to go check on my car, and I was like, whoa, it's a little nippy, man. I should have got a jacket.
I got to put on the defrosters in 66-degree weather. What?
Nando, I went to college in Buffalo. So when it was 46 degrees in February, you know what we called that? Barbecue weather.
No, I get you, man. The 1 year I was up at Syracuse, I stepped outside. It was like 50 degrees, gray, dark, and my friend was like, wow, beautiful day. I was like, beautiful day. Oh, this is the ugliest day I've ever seen in my life. And they're like, nah, man, this is the nicest day we're gonna have for the next 2-3 months, man. I was like, get me out of this place, bro. Like, this is a nightmare. 50 degrees. Everyone was like, bro, get on your shorts, man. We're gonna be grilling today.
50 degrees. We're gonna grill. We're gonna get out there and have a barbecue today. I love it.
No. I'm staying inside, man. I'll watch TV. I'll watch from the window. Bring my food when it's ready. Like I'm not going outside. Like it's not with shorts on, anyways. Not in 50s, 60s. I'll play with you guys. 50s, no way, bro.
John says, I'm in Los Angeles and haven't seen the sun in a month. LOL. What? You're in LA and no sun? That sounds.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too from California, man. That's why
left coast
Miami's the best weather.
Sun. Isn't that why people live on the left coast? Because you guys have earthquakes, and I don't do earthquakes. I don't do earthquakes.
No, sir.
The ground is not supposed to move like that. Hurricane, I could deal with a hurricane. Agent Navy says, Steven, I'm 10 minutes from you. It was 29 degrees this morning, but today's high is 68 degrees. That's what I'm talking about, Agent Navy. It was 29 degrees this morning, and it's 68 degrees this afternoon. That's some bipolar ass weather for you, Agent Navy. That's why I don't like Baltimore. Okay? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Besides all this purple that's around here, absolutely ridiculous. All these Barney fans can't deal with it.
It's for the birds.
For the birds. Fin Daddy Big Dougie B says, I'm from International Falls, Minnesota. A 50-degree morning like today is our summer weather up in Frostbite Falls. Von Joe says, Stephen D, SKPR, are you guys just going to keep giggling with each other like little schoolgirls? Or are you guys going to get to business and start the capping? All right, Von Joe. I guess we were just trying to enjoy a little. We haven't talked to each other in a while. All right. Shout out to Battered Fins fans, by the way. Guys, go check out his channel, Battered Fins fans. Awesome, man. Great guy. Was on his show. Stephen, Florida wins the award for bipolar weather. No, Baltimore does. Trust me. All right. Anyways. So last couple of weeks, Nando and Jason both for those of you who don't follow Jason or Nando on Twitter, what are you doing with your lives? Because two of the top 2 Twitter accounts in the game for Dolphins Twitter. All right, maybe. All right, I'm sucking up to you guys. You're probably
check out Jason more if you're checking top Twitter news right there.
Okay, maybe top 10, top 15 Dolphins Twitter. Like Dolphins Twitter can be they can be legendary at times. But these are 2 great, and I know both of you have talked a lot about the draft, and particular people that the Dolphins could go after. And so, it's tough doing a show every day, and I wanted to, obviously have content for many different reasons, but I thought it was, look, we now are a week removed from free agency starting. A lot of the big names have signed, and the ones that haven't, I think, are going to take a while to sign. You might get some news here or there. Like we said, Jason this morning says we're no big news, but a decent move could be in the works. We might announce later on today.
It's a 7.5.
Out of 10?
It's a 7.5. It's 7.5. And I'm okay with that.
That's legit.
It's a 7.5. Maybe 8. For me, it's an 8.2.
Do you understand that earthquakes, the seismic scale, and 8.2, like a 7.5, like wrecks humanity.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it going to wreck humanity?
I'll tone it.
It's not a Richter scale. It's a scale of 1 to 10.
7.49.
It's a 7.4.
7.49.
That did not make look, anything over, what is it? 5 is actually like. All right, we're not seismic scale. Nando, I was trying to get scientific, and then you called me out on my non-science stuff.
The Richter scale doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I was just warning you, man. That thing is weird, bro.
The Dewey Decimal System, I never caught on to.
Just like America, that we still are in the metric system, right? Or are we non-metric or metric? Hey, I don't even know. I know we use Fahrenheit, and everybody else in the world uses Celsius. That's all I know.
We're the non-metric system.
We're the non-metric system.
I do know the Dewey Decimal System. I was a librarian for a summer. I had a little summer library job, so I had to.
Did you have like the glasses and a ruler and be like, okay, never mind.
I was just organizing a bunch of shells from a bunch of dumb kids who didn't know the Dewey Decimal System, I guess. But it's all good.
Love it. All right, so I guess before we hop into these mock drafts, let's talk about where you guys think the Dolphins are currently from a roster standpoint. You know, where do you think they've improved? What do you think they need to work on? So on and so forth. I'll start with you, Nando. A lot of moves made with the Dolphins this offseason so far. A lot of moves still to be made. Where do you currently see the roster as is? And what do you think the Dolphins have improved upon since the beginning of free agency?
Improved upon, obviously, like we got some offensive line depth, which is nice. We got a secondary depth to Sean Elliott, David Long. I don't know if he's more of a I like him a lot as a player. I think he'd be a nice starting piece. Some will view it more as depth, not really needle moving kind of move. And then obviously Jalen Ramsey fixes corner. I think it does take cornerback off the draft board for the Dolphins. I wanted a corner at pick 77, but who knows? We can still go best player available. I think the clear needs are still at offensive line help, particularly tackle, linebacker. And then maybe the Dolphins will still look at safety and running back. Those would be like the top 4 board positions I'd have, with tight end slotting at 5. A little lower just because tight end is a harder position to hit immediate returns on. Mainly players don't really adjust that fast to it. So even guys like Kyle Pitts, who are so highly touted, they take a while to adjust. TJ Hawkinson took a bit for the Lions. Pat Freiermuth's the only rookie tight end I can think of recently that did well. And for the Steelers, that was really
real quick. I just want to, since you said his name, I desperately wanted the Dolphins to go after him.
Freiermuth,
I was really upset when we didn't.
So nice.
We ended up going, and was Hunter Long that same year? Was Pat Freiermuth and Hunter Long, or were they? Because they're from the same school, right? Hunter Long's from Penn State, right?
No,
Hunter Long's from Boston College.
Yeah,
my bad. Never mind. But anyways, I wanted Pratt Freiermuth, and I thought he was going to be a beast in the pros, and he's done okay with Pittsburgh. But
yeah, he's in the 21 draft class, so it's the same one, I think.
He's a good overall tight end, Freiermuth.
So let me.
Nothing crazy, but he's overall solid.
You guys have covered a lot of drafts, and you guys have done a lot of draft analysis. And I'll stick with you, Nando, and then I'll go up to you, Jason, with where you see the team is at. But Nando, when players get graded on this grade scale, which we're going to talk about in detail today, right? You have PFF, you have a million different outlets that grade certain players a certain way. Do you think that a lot of these grade scales are accurate to what they end up becoming in the pros, or what makes a good grade scale and the outcome of that player and the success of their career? Like, how do you gauge those two things?
I mean, it's grade by grade, side by side. I'd say some of them are more, they look at the combine, they look at the athleticism, and they let that factor.
Underwear Olympics?
Oh, yeah. It does play a factor in your overall score, I guess. That with tape, I don't really know how the rest of the metrics, but it's not to say that a 6.8 where they grade, below average player projected to be future starter. It's not to say that kid can't be a day one ready to go starter. It's not to say that an 8.7 solidified day one player doesn't end up being a project guy. College to NFL, it's a little harder to gauge. I guess people could use it to like kind of start shaping up their draft board, but at the end of the day, studying tape is the only way to find out if a kid's like a stud or not. And that's kind of the point of these exercises. It's so you don't look at, sheesh, there's a boatload of names. I can't study all these films. I'm a real person with a life. This is not my job. So, but if you trim it down, if maybe after today's show, you find a running back or a lineman that you really like or that you really enjoy, and say, hey, I want to learn more about him, you can study them up, and I'm sure that's what the Dolphins are doing player by player, bit by bit. They're making their own board, and it's going to be beautiful, hopefully. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Jason, I'm going to go back to the previous question for you before I go into that. Like, where do you currently see the Dolphins roster as is? What about the offseason signing so far? And where's your mind at with the Dolphins roster currently?
Very, very much constructed as a contender. Now, of course, are they done? I don't think they're clearly not done. They are not done filling in the holes, filling in the patches. We've been seeing the last couple of days, single, double, triple kind of signings across the AFC East, across the NFL. And that's what's happening right now. This is like tier 2, quarter 2 of the free agent process. Quarter 3 is the draft. Quarter 4 is the scrap heap. When people might be cut after the June 1st, you know what I mean? There will be players available. So right now, the Dolphins, I think, to get back to the grading from last week, I think they're right now sitting at an A- overall. Like if I'm looking at everything from the loss in the playoffs in Buffalo, from that minute the clock struck zeros till right now, they're from then to now, an A- what they've done. I can't wait to see what else they're going to do, because it's going to be, like I said, a couple more doubles. I don't know that a home run is on the way. So no, I don't know about a Wagner. I don't know about a Derrick Henry. What I do know is that they're going to do the due diligence. And for anything, like anything they do, if it makes their budget and their fiscal sense, they're going to do it. And if it doesn't, they're going to plan B, plan C, plan D. And I don't really think it ever goes beyond plan D. And that's not that bad in the NFL.
You know, in talent evaluation, one of the Greer knocks within the fan base, you know, I'm a big Greer fan. I think everybody on this panel likes Greer. But some of the fan base that are very critical of Greer, his biggest criticism comes in talent evaluation. Nando kind of alluded to it. And Jason, this question is for you. Is it when you're doing drafting grades or evaluating players that it's up to the person like the GM and their viewpoint, or do scouts play such a big role in, you know, how players are put onto a draft board? And then the GM obviously says, hey, look, you know, obviously we need help in these positions, but after the second or third round, it's best player on the board. So I can't really worry about positions. And just real quick before you allude to that, remember the Dolphins have 1 second, 1/3, and then I think a fifth,
Six
maybe
and a seven.
Six and a seven. So it goes to best player available, not necessarily needs at that point. So I just want you to kind of allude to all of that, Jason.
I mean, look, make no mistake about it. You know, it's not just the GM. I mean, there's a whole lot. You ever see a picture of a war room? There's a couple dozen people.
There's 30 people in there.
Right. You're looking at scouting, not a scout. You're looking at scouting departments. You're looking at college scouts. You're looking at team scouts. There's a difference between those two. There are college scouts that go, of course, around the nation on Saturdays and watch prospects for draft purposes in the future of building a team. And then there are pro scouts that go and see what players they might want to find on a practice squad, waiver wire, cut, trade for, future free. There's scouts all over the place. Chris Greer has been in this organization for 20 years, hasn't been a GM. He was a scout assistant, director of college scouting, an area scout, a regional scout. There's a lot of components. Now, also, what I think goes on during the draft is assistant coaches, team aspects of personnel saying, you know what, I coach this guy in college. I coach this guy, you know, I know someone who coached this guy. I endorse this player. A lot of times in the day three.
How you get somebody like Cater Kahoo into the building as an undrafted free agent?
Oh, absolutely. Scouts and a guy like a Josh Boyer, you got to give credit sometimes in talent evaluation might be a little bit different than on-field coaching and handling of talent. Those are different animals completely. I mean, you could be locked in a tape room and pick out the 10 best players out of 100, and you could be correct. But coaching them and calling the plays, apples, oranges, and watermelon, completely different.
This question is for Nando. Nando, you know, there's a million different Miami Dolphins pages, YouTube channels, outlets, you know, blogs. Obviously, we're getting to that time of year where everybody's going to start putting out draft content, right? But when we're looking at the draft content, why is it that we can have 13 different mock drafts and 13 different players in rounds two? Why is there no unanimous choice except, you know, I feel like there's a lot of unanimous choices in the first round, but when you start doing mock drafts in the second or third round, you don't see a lot of unanimous choices, and you'll see 13 different ideas. And I just kind of want to get your thought as to that from other people. You know, I know you can only speak for yourself, but just your view of that. Why do you normally see that?
Well, from the simple fact that every time we'll go into the drafts, and I think we'll probably hit anywhere from like 8 to maybe 10 today, depending on how deep we go, Steven. We'll see it every time we'll go into the draft room. It's going to be different, especially at 51. We're talking about 50 other choices being made before we finally get to make ours. There's a lot of different scenarios that play out. Sometimes there's a linebacker run. Sometimes the tight ends go really early. Sometimes they start to fall into the second round. Running back, same deal. It really just depends on where the positional run goes and then what group slides due to that. And then we'll see different options. Maybe Jack Campbell falls to us. He probably won't. In most simulators, he doesn't. He goes around 44 to 50. But if he does go there, then bam, you go Jack Campbell, which means then in the 3rd, 6th, and 7th round, you're not targeting linebacker. And it really does shake everything up. With the team that doesn't have a first-round pick like the Dolphins, we're really using pick 51 as our money big pick that we're going to hopefully get the best talent and take it to the house. At pick 51, it's just going to determine the entire draft. If we go offensive lineman, then we're really going to be playing probably skill position players like linebacker, safety, running back for the rest of the draft. If we get Jack Campbell, then we can have a lot more flexibility, but we won't have the best offensive lineman talent, so we might go double offensive lineman, or who knows what the Dolphins will start doing. But that pick 51 is really going to shape the rest of the draft. It's really going to determine where we go in round 3, in round 6, in round 7. Maybe we might even trade down at 51 and get more picks. Maybe we might trade up and then we have even less picks to worry about. We can explore all those scenarios, but that's kind of why there's so many different little mocks. And it's cool how everyone has different ideas. Hopefully one of those is right and we get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming on draft night, man.
And that's kind of what we're going to do. And for those of you who don't know, by the way, Friday night, so Thursday is round 1, Friday is rounds 2 and 3. Friday night right here, we will be live on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Nando's going to hang out with us for a little bit. I'm hoping Jason will hang out with us for a little bit that draft night. And, we're going to be doing live draft coverage that Friday night for rounds 2 and 3. Which I'm excited about. So for those of you who don't want to watch NFL Network or ESPN, you guys can watch here with us. And I'm hoping to have some other special guests lined up that night. So be on the lookout. It's going to be a lot of fun. Friday night draft coverage right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Jason, before I let Nando take over the reins and we get into this, last thing I want to ask you, what are some people within the industry? It could be national people. It could be people that do Miami Dolphins coverage a lot. Who are some people that you like that in the past you're like, this guy's done really good mock draft coverage and some of his names that he's done have come to fruition? Is there any names or any people that you do want to shout out that you think Dolphin fans should, closely monitor a little bit more than others?
That's really a great question. You know what? I'm actually not going to single out any individual because there's a lot of really good draft content out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like if I name like 4 or 5 people, I'm going to feel
we're going to be like, what did you? Well, look, I asked that because here's the reality. I think we're first to the party. There's not been a lot of mock draft coverage for Dolphin stuff. But, and I'm hoping that a lot of people will get to see our stuff and see, the direction that we head in. But I know a lot of people just want content and just want who out there should I listen to. And, I know Chat Sports and Will does a really good job over at Chat Sports. Obviously, PFF has some really good stuff. The Draft Network has some really good stuff.
The Draft Network. I will say that overall, I love. I know he's leaving there, but he had what a run by Kyle Krabs. I know the team.
Kyle Krabs, he's been on the show before. We love Kyle Krabs.
I mean, that's where you want to go for your grading and your reading of the players. And they do a terrific job of their analysis and really giving you a good sense of their comparisons, where they could go, what their strengths are. So I will say that that's probably the best entity would be the Draft Network that I like to utilize for my information.
I don't disagree with you. I 100% agree with you. So we'll definitely have to see how it goes. Kazim says, I wanted them to go Darius Rush, cornerback in the 3rd round, but they got Elliott, so I can see them going Avila O-line in the 3rd round. All right, Kaz, you kind of, steered the way of where we're going. So let's get into it, Nando. Why don't you take over? Tell us, what we're using, why you like it, and how we should. We're gonna do several mock drafts this morning.
Yeah, we're going to run through a couple, man. The first one, we'll probably go through the slowest just so everybody listening gets a bit of a sense of the players. Obviously, it's going to be the first time we're mentioning most of them. And then I assume the more drafts we do, the faster they'll go, as we'll have already talked about most of the prospects. And we're really just kind of doing reps at that point. We're using PFF mock draft simulator over here. The way I'm presenting is this, we got Coach Daniels over here with my guy Steven.
Oh, I'm a coach now. Yeah,
we got GM Sarney. We got Mr. GM Sarney. He's got the busy day. That's why he's going to be in and out. He's got a lot of fires to tend to. But he's got the great knowledge, bro. He's got the GM. He's got the great knowledge, and I'm just a scout. Just a scout presented to my coach and GM. But we're good to go, man. This is our mini war room, our mini Dolphins war room. We've got a bunch of other little scouts in our audience today too. So if you guys got some players, you guys got some extra eyes. I think that's the coolest thing, man. Sometimes like I know a bunch of Syracuse prospects because I follow Syracuse. Like I've gotten to watch those games a little bit more firsthand. There's I'm sure you guys with your alma maters, you guys have followed prospects from there or schools that you guys enjoy as well. So if you've got a little bit more to go, feel free to chime in. If you went to Alabama, if you went to a school, if you went to Penn State, if you went to Iowa, these schools that we're going to have prospects we're talking about, feel free to chime in. You probably know more about them than we do. So fire away. Scout Nando, GM Jason, and Coach Daniels, bro.
I'm like the real Coach McDaniel, except I'm Coach Daniels. I like
exactly, bro. You're close, bro. You're close.
I even got the glasses and everything.
So you got the hat too. You got the glasses. You're good to rock, man.
Like it. I wish it was colder.
I wish it would go. And then I use PFF mock simulator because it's like the most reputable source that I know that is still has one. Jason, do you know of another one? I've never asked, but
I mean, from an actual mock draft simulator, PFF's good. The Draft Network was doing kind of beta testing. So last year I used them almost exclusively, but this year I didn't have that access. And Pro Football Network has a decent model too from an engine standpoint, but I like the predictability of PFF versus Pro Football Network. So again, you got to pick and choose. And I will say one thing, these are mock drafts that aren't coming from the evaluation of general managers. So when you look at a mock draft and then you're watching the real draft and you're like, wow, I picked this guy 82nd and he's available at the 161st.
I'm a genius.
That just says why there are people up there and why there are people here. And that's really all that there is. So once you get to players like 75 or 80 to 200, it's evaluation. It's these best player availables, these rankings. Who the heck knows?
Who the heck knows, man? And yeah, if you want to drop the link to that other one, we can play with both. I've never played with it, but I'm down to run as many reps, Jason. But you're right. Once you get to those middle of the rounds, that's why GMs make their money. That's where they have their boards, and that's where anybody can, I think, pick a first rounder. You're talking about some of the best players coming into the draft. Those fourth rounders, that day 3, late day 2, that's where the money's made. That's where you get to see the board, and it's going to look different. You're right, man. We're going to see guys here that be like, how is this dude falling? How is he still here? Or we're going to see guys completely taken early. But come draft night, happens every year, man.
I'll tell you, we don't see all the medicals.
Real quick,
see all the medicals.
Look on the right side here, advanced settings. Can you run us through the settings and how this correlates to how the mock drafts are going to work today?
Yeah, it's default. I didn't touch anything.
Okay.
Only thing I've touched is speed. I've made it go from fast to turbo, so you don't have to see all the other teams' picks.
Okay.
But it's public versus PFF board. This is how they really measured it. I guess it's more skewed towards the PFF board, with a little bit towards the public as well.
Okay.
Like Jason said, we're not GMs. This is the PFF board's based off all their little analysts and what they have their top 150 or top 450 or how many ever prospects they've ranked out, and then averaged it up, and that you'll see it has an ADP, which is average draft position for how many people have done these simulators and where these guys are generally going. And then you'll see a ranking, which is the PFF board ranking. The average of that is how they'll kind of stack up the players, I think. But they account for other things like draft needs, randomness, care for positional value. I think that's more of the grade you're going to get at the end of the class. We'll get B or A usually. Mm-hmm. You have to be really dumb to get a C or a D grading, honestly. So we'll see how we.
And real quick, and Jason, let me just throw this out there. Where it has draft for needs, less or more. When we start getting into, when do you think that teams stop drafting for needs and start getting players? What rounds do you think that starts happening, Jason?
There are GMs who have been doing this for a long time that have their patterns. And I'm going to stick to that with someone like a Greer. They have their patterns, they have their tells. So I think it's different for everybody, but I think that there are the good ones and the ones that have been doing it the longest. They probably keep to their consistency in terms of their modeling on how they approach drafts, whether it be BPA, whether it be fill the need right away, whether it be a mixture of both. I like to say BPAON. Best player available of need. I mean, so hypothetically, if the best wide receiver out there is at 51, we don't need that. But if the best tight end is, whilst we have 2 or 3 on the roster, we could get a best player available of need if it be the tight end. So there could be 3 or 4 players you could be deciding, do we need a running back? Maybe not, because they have 4 that they're paying half the money that most teams are spending double on one back. Not most teams, but the teams that are splurging on running back. So again, everyone's different, and I think that they're going to go with best player available of need.
All right, let's get into it. Nando, this is your show, man. Take it over.
Bam. And Jason, I love that. I love best player of need, and that's kind of the best part of making this mini war room is all of our different like draft ideologies. They might be similar, they might be different, but it'll start to merge and hopefully simulate what the Dolphins will be talking about on draft night. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might not get the players right, but I'm hoping the discussions about them is what I'm going for. And wow.
All right, go ahead.
So we can see who got taken. Like, it's interesting. Like, Kazan had mentioned Steve Avila. He just got taken at 47. Darnell Wright, that big, long offensive tackle, gone.
Jack Campbell to the Jets in this draft.
That's painful right there. Darnell Washington.
Could you, real quick, if I just want to throw this out there. If Jack Campbell goes to the Jets, I'm going to be so mad because they would scroll up a little bit more. I just want to look at who else was picked. Jack Campbell, Darnell Washington to the Titans. I know that's 2 people that, I would love
Make
to
your peace with that, Dolphin fans. If those 2 guys are going to be drafted, it'll have to come via trade up, and they don't have the assets in the draft market. It would have to be a player move, and I don't think that's going to happen for those 2.
Jason, though, to be fair, we have discussed privately that the Dolphins could move up in the 2nd round. They could trade up if they really love somebody in the 2nd.
If they really, really want to, there's a number of things they could do on paper.
It would have to be right there at the Saints pick. You'd have to trade like up to pick 40, shoot up 11 spots.
And what do you think a trade would look like for that, Nando?
I have no clue. Like how trade value. It's the thing with trading up in the draft is like it's easy to make a trade now, but on draft night with 10 minutes on the clock, you're talking about, okay, the other team has to be antsy about not wanting someone or being too comfortable on their board that they're willing to if down. And then how desperate are you on that phone call? Like, I wouldn't send more than like a 3rd round, but even then, that's a little pricey to go up. I'd be much more comfortable with later round picks, but I don't know what a trade costs. Jason, would you have better clarity on that?
I mean, look, again, we've seen deals. I remember, I think during the Tua draft, that I think the Buccaneers traded 1 pick above, like literally traded to the team who picked before them just to have control of the pick. And it was like a 4th rounder or a 5th round or something just to get that slot and control it. So when you're moving up maybe 4 to 10 slots, I would dangle a player. I would say if I'm moving up from 51, I want to jump above 4 teams who I'm worried about drafting this position or positions. If I want to leapfrog, I'll give them my pick. And if they want a Cedric Wilson, they want another player of that comparability, sure. If there happens to be sweeteners in terms of 2004s or 6th or 7th, that's where those guys have their valuation charts. But that's what I'd be thinking. If there's not much player movement or trades or cuts or what have you, look for draft day for there to be. Remember, they've done player-involved incoming player trades when they brought in Matt Breida for a 5th round pick. They decided to not draft a running back, but they got out of that draft with a running back with Breida. It didn't work, but that's what Greer tries to do. He tries to kick over all the dust in the tin to see if he could find some gold.
Caslin said Musgrave would be the pick here. He would love to have Musgrave. Now, remember, you guys are scouts, so let's just put that in the back of their mind. We have a scout that's saying that they want Musgrave. So just put that in the back of your mind. All right, so the Dolphins are sitting at 51. Nando, what are you thinking here?
So my GM and my coach, I actually love Luke Musgrave there. I thought he's supposed to be the best tight end in the draft class. Darnell Washington gets all the hype, all the love, but Musgrave, I've seen like actual draft pundits doing mock drafts of him going 30th overall, of him going top of the second round. So for him to fall to here, it's pretty nice, man. It's a pretty nice player. I haven't looked too much of him because I thought we would never get him. Definitely on my board as someone who would have fallen. I'm going to look at offensive linemen and probably linebacker too, I guess.
Jason, real quick,
is there any other position you guys are looking at?
Well, let me just interrupt real quick. You say I'm head coach in this mock draft, scenarios that we're doing. I also want to throw in that Vic Fangio is also going to be in the room too. You're going to have two different quote unquote head coaches. So, look, the defensive side and the offensive side. What I will say is when it comes to a linebacker, I think that would be the biggest positional need in the draft from a drafting standpoint for the Miami Dolphins. But I think that, look, we have tight end and we have offensive line issues. And I think that you have to be able to address those. Now, from a tight end perspective, I was a little upset yesterday when I saw Dalton Schultz signed a contract with the Houston Texans. The reality of the situation is I should have known better. He was $9 million. I knew the Dolphins necessarily couldn't afford it. I would have liked to have seen it. But I think that, if Luke Musgrave is the top tight end prospect in this draft, and by the way, Nando, you and I and Jason as well, 13 tight ends in this draft with a grade 3 or higher. But if the best one or a consensus number one pick at a position is available on the board at 51, you have to go for it, right?
I would say, yeah, it does. It depends on the type of tight end. Like, let's look at tight end specifically.
Click on Musgrave's name. Let's look at his stuff. Go ahead and call it out to us, Nando.
I never really look at all like the size stuff. You'd have to like unlock it as well, like the stats. I mean, size wise, he's 6'6", 253 pounds, 4'6", 140, 36-inch vertical, 10'5" broad jump. This kid's super athletic and he's massive. He's almost as athletic as Darnell Washington.
Can he block? Is my first question. Because I'm reading here, what's his role? He says, get Musgrave going down that field. It's like having another wide receiver. Trying to make him a possession wide receiver would be a mistake.
Yeah, they do not mention his blocking anywhere here. Jason, would you know a little bit more about him? Again, he's a first or second round talent. I'd never even thought of him going to 51.
In my opinion, if the tight end cannot block, he cannot be drafted by our team. Point blank.
I would agree there. I would agree that, or I'd mix better blocking than average. So above average blocking mixed with the ability to gain yards after they catch. And I'm not saying that as a slander on Mike Gesicki. I'm not trying to be snide with all the people who hated that lack of yak from Gesicki. But if you're looking for a guy who could handle himself in the blocking, a guy who could be an adequate or better receiver and then produce yards, I like Sam Laporta. So that's the guy that I would target at that position. And if there's a abundance of tight ends still available, maybe minus Darrell Washington, maybe you try to trade back to 63, 64, 65 and get another fourth, fifth round to get back in that round, because we do know that the Dolphins will need depth on the offensive line. They will need depth in linebacking. They will need depth in cornerback because they still have a veteran, Xavier Howard. And of course, they re-signed Needham, but he also was coming off.
Casman said Luke is the third best blocker in the draft. There's a scout, right, who comes in and says, hey, look, this guy has really good blocking tendencies. So now McDaniel's going to be happy because he wants a blocking tight end to begin with. And this guy also has talent, from a receiver standpoint too, in red zone coverage. So look, my vote is let's go Luke Musgrave here.
I'm down to test it out just because I've never seen him in a mock draft. I literally ran 9 last night, and I did not see Luke Musgrave fall in a single one. So I'm kind of just tempted to rock with it.
What about you? You're the GM, Jason. What do you think?
I ask as a G if I it's the dream here, but if it were me and I'm calling on my staff and I'm literally, if we're on the clock like now, I'm saying, all right, final pitches, throw bang on the table. If anyone's banging on the table right now, let's hear it.
Is there an offensive lineman that we are in love
Matthew
with?
Bergeron.
If
I'm Chris Greer and I say, all right, I told the press that I'm, going to stick with Austin Jackson, but I'm going to be developing some potential competition. I've also seen
Bergie.
I've also seen people say that I can't draft an offensive lineman. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm going to draft another offensive lineman, and if he can hopefully be better than Austin Jackson, he'll take over for Austin Jackson. If Austin Jackson beats him out for the job, then Austin Jackson's the guy. And if both don't occur, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. So if Bergeron's available, I think that
you would rather go Bergeron. Scroll up a little bit, Nando.
This is a good Canadian player, Canadian born. He's right tackle, could play left tackle, maybe even.
I'm familiar with Bergeron. I put him in my thumbnail. Like I'm familiar with him.
He's a player that you want to see there. And if you do hear that there is a trade up, I hate saying this, they've made a trade up for Liam Eichenberg. So
scroll
when
up,
identifies
all
a
the way
guy,
up to the top there.
They got him. They go try to get him.
Scroll down a little bit. So Tanner McKee is the best available. No. I was looking at best available.
Oh, best available. Gotcha.
Yeah.
There was a
linebacker there.
Darnell Wright.
All right. So stop. So the Washington Henley, he's a linebacker. Is he a middle linebacker? And is that somebody Vic Fangio is going to be, hey, I want this guy?
Henley's very athletic. I don't know if he's a true middle linebacker, but he's very fast, bro. Very quick player.
All right, based on what I see here, I would say we're going.
I like
offense.
Bergeron. And
so the question is, do we go Luke Musgrave with the how many tight ends have come off the board so far? That's my next question with tight end.
They've taken Darnell Washington. I read Luke Musgrave's a solid blocker, great hand placement, solid power. He just needs to add more to his frame. I think we've only lost Darnell Washington because I know it's
anybody in the first round gone at tight end?
No, because then Sam Laporta is the next best tight end. And Jason mentioned him. He's a much more complete.
So Jason's point that he said earlier last week on the show, 13 tight ends with a grade 3 or higher.
I think it was a running backs, is what I said about that.
Oh, it was running backs, 13 running backs with grade 3 or higher. Okay, well, I don't know, but it sounds like to me, I think there's a lot of tight ends in this draft, though, too. This is a very deep tight end draft. What do you think? I think we got to go offensive line. We got to go tackle.
In this case, guys, if I'm looking at two positions, I'm asking myself what is a better percentage of getting a quality player with my next pick. And the math works out where it's the tight end, because I'll tolerate the 7th best tight end, but I don't want the 12th best offensive lineman. So I'm going to get the 5th best offensive lineman, 7th best offensive lineman, and the 6th best tight end, and I'm not going to fall outside of the top 10 positionally in either. Hopefully.
All right. Well, then let's go Bergeron. Draft Bergeron.
Mr. Matthew Bergeron. Welcome to the team. And yeah, man, he played right guard and right tackle at Syracuse. Like, he's a great athletic player. Like, I love my
leader. He's a guy who could be a captain. He could be the Robert Hunt pick, but from more of a he should have happened story. Robert Hunt's great because he should never have happened with how he came up and developed Louisiana Lafayette. Just some terrific backdated story on Hunt. Just do your own research, everybody, but great stuff there.
All right, go ahead. What else we got?
All right. I'm glad we passed up on Luke Weipler. He was another offensive lineman who was there in the 2nd round. Him, Joe Tittman out of Wisconsin are 2 centers who are very good. Weipler fell to the 3rd here. Again, this might be something that doesn't even happen on draft night, but in our world, it is happening pretty frequently in the PFF mode. We've got a couple good DBs like Trevius Hodges-Tomlinson out of TCU, Jamie Robinson from FSU. Like, that's a true DB right there. He can play corner. You can play some safety.
Look, any FSU safety you have to consider because their track record in the NFL are great. Not good, great. Track records of FSU safeties in the NFL are really good.
Yeah, and they've tossed him up there with the Derwin James, the Jalen Ramsey comparison. Like, obviously, you're trying to sell your player, as a coach. But hey, if he's being compared to those FSU safeties with that track record, Steven, you're right, man. You've got to consider the name. And then, of course,
with his $2 donation said we had Malik Reed, we would not go OLB. Okay, I agree. Go ahead.
And then there's running backs like Tank Bigsby, Dwayne McBride at a UAB, smaller school but great player. Dorian Williams, nice linebacker there. There's a bunch of DBs and running backs around this area.
All right, so is that the top? Is Luke the top tight end?
Yes, Luke Schoonmaker.
Click him. Let's look at him.
He's probably more of a 4th round guy, though, I'd say. Might be a little early at 84, but we can look at a trade down as well.
It's funny you mentioned Schoonmaker, because Schoonmaker is a guy who I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, hypothetically, they go with the Bergeron and there's a lot of tight ends left. He's a guy who I've drafted in like 105 range, so if I take that 83rd or 84th, what have you, 84th, and move it back, pick up another pick, and end up with a Michigan guy.
Who's offering us stuff? What trade scenarios do we have here? What are people offering?
Listen, there's always, when you're in the top 100 picks, there's always going to be a team that will move up if you catch the right call. You can't make 31 calls in 10 minutes. You can't do it. But these teams also talk prior. They also have pre-existing relationships with certain GMs too. That's why you see a lot of deals that happen in, another deal with the Texans. Oh, another deal with the Bears. Oh, another deal with the, there's relationships there. So I think there's ample opportunity to move up and down the board. And that's why you see 20 some odd trades.
Scroll up. Let me look at that center real quick. From Ohio State.
Perfect. Luke Wiper. Yeah. I was going to say, let's look at some prospects and then GM Jason, we'll look at the trade downs too, to see if you had any of those on the board. How far would you be willing to move? Because I agree, man. I want a 4th round, a 5th round. There's a lot of extra value to pick up in this draft. And in the 4th round, if we can pick up a guy there like Schoonmaker,
scroll down. I want to see this guy's full card if you can.
Gotcha.
So he's a 2nd round pick that's available here in the 3rd round. My question to you, Nando, you're part of the scouting team here. Or I guess I'll go to the GM, Jason, actually. I mean, do we go 2 offensive linemen with our first 2 picks?
I don't think so, because that's a tell. You know what that says that Greer's saying? He says, yeah, I know our offensive line is weak, and I didn't do much about it in free agency, but I'm going to try to rectify it in drafting, and that's where my weakness has been. So, no, I don't think they double up an offensive lineman. If there was a situation to double up in, I think you never mind.
Were you about to tell us something, Jason?
Never mind. Sorry.
I love it. We're going to catch
Freudian slip right there.
We're going to let it slip one of these times.
All right. So if you're asking me where we go, unless, Vic Fangio is just straight up in love with one of these defensive draft picks. By the way, Rashad, who again, I'm letting people know, if you guys in the chat are scouts, we have a scout saying A.T. Perry, easy steal.
Mr. Perry.
Wide receiver from Wake Forest.
I don't know if we need receiver, though. He's a great player. But you like that size. You don't really have that size at receiver, but
I don't know in the 3rd round if I draft a wide receiver. I personally would trade. I think you have 2 options here. You go to the tight end, Luke, right? Or you trade back. I think those are your 2 options here.
Ring, 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 gentlemen. Ring, ring, ring. Breaking attention. We have 4 teams calling us right now. Pick 93, pick 95, 104, and 107. How far are we sliding back to pick up some picks?
Well, you got to talk to the GM.
Mr. Sarney, how, with the prospects we have on the board, how far back are you willing to slide?
If I'm all right, so if you count in your board, if I'm looking at the big board and we're sitting at 84 and I have 15 players that I would be thrilled if I got out with, I'm not trading beyond 100. Yeah. I'm not getting back out past 100. So if I think that in worst case scenario, my 1 through 14 fly off the board and I pick up another pick, but I still got my 15th, I win.
You're happy.
So I'm not accepting a trade for 125th and 155th because I'm going to cut off my nose to spite my face because I'm not going to get one of the players that I want. So I'm just getting one guy that may not hit, and I'm getting another guy that may or may not hit. I'm not getting my guy. So if I'm doing that, I'm making sure that someone that I want is there.
I agree. I think we won't slip past 95 in this scenario. That we're talking either like a 9 picks back or 11. Yeah, if even 15 guys on the board, that'd be a
Tried
lot
93 and 132.
Well, right here it says we have a 54% chance. 93 and 132. It says will probably be accepted.
Well, I mean, let's do the 114.
Let's fingers crossed. No, damn you guys. You sure?
It was denied.
I just clicked again and it just worked. We were persistent and it paid off. So we slid back to pick 93. We slid back 9 slots and we picked up 114. We picked up a 4th rounder. Yeah, this could potentially work out, gentlemen.
All right, so A.T. Perry, by the way, still on the board. Rashad still on the board.
We just missed Jamie Robinson. That's so painful.
Could you imagine if he had slid back to us there when we got an extra 4th rounder? That would have been great.
That would have been so beautiful.
All right, GM, what do you do? Because at this point, I don't know where we go. I'm tight end is somewhere we need to address. I mean, Luke's got to be the pick here, right?
Scroll up a bit, Nando. Let me just see who else is on the board.
Trey Hodges Tomlinson could be nice little DB.
I was going to say if we want cornerback depth, but I'm looking at you're in the top 100 still, so you're really looking at a player that hopefully can get on the field right away. And I know that may define Channing Tindall and Eric Ezukanma, kind of, sort of, but ideally you want to see if there's a player that you could throw in there for significant snaps. And in this case, I can't call it a cornerback because maybe that next pick a little bit further back for depth. But right now, if I want a difference maker who could help in the tight end room, it might be Shoemaker because that falls right in that area that I mentioned earlier in that 105 that I think that I got him at in my own mock draft a while back. But if I'm differentiating 10 picks, 12 picks, 13 picks, it's negligible difference.
We get our guy. I think that's what matters. I think on draft day, there's no such thing as like a real reach. Like in this scenario, if we had traded back and still got a 4th rounder and they say, look, Luke's our guy. He's the top guy on our board. Like, what do you want me to do? I mean, Greer, get your guy. Like if it's Luke, if GM Jason says it, I'd love that pick. Cause you're right. We can get maybe Jalen Jones or like a Trey Hodges Tomlinson if we want extra corner depth, but extra depth in the 3rd round. I'd rather get a starter or a potential, like you said, difference maker somewhere else. So I'd be down for
if I'm Coach Daniel's here, my vote is Luke. I want a tight end. I need a tight end.
I think it works, and I think that when you get a call from Stephen Ross and you said you drafted a Wolverine, good for you.
Mission.
All right, Luke's the guy.
Luke,
it's a good pick. Because you also pick another pick up with him, and of course, you're.
Oh, look who's still there! I think you got to go Travius Hodges Tomlinson here.
That would be my. I would walk that ticket up right away because
I don't even think you think twice about it.
You got to pick it up right away because you're
the
also
114th pick, and he's the 53rd ranked player in the draft. The value there is amazing.
I look at him and I say, this is a guy like that is the apprentice in the shadow of a guy like an Xavier Howard. Like literally carry his bags for a year and do whatever he says and just listen to the man. But I don't think a rookie cornerback would see much action on the field, but to develop, because in 2-3 years, that player might be a very big player on the secondary.
All right. So real quick, just to reiterate, what have we drafted so far? So we've drafted a tight end, a cornerback, and an offensive and a tackle.
Yeah, we started Matthew Bergeron. Then we got in the 3rd round, we traded down to pick up an extra 4th. We got Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan. And then, so Noob, we did not get jumped. We if anything, we jumped everyone else and we took Luke. And then in the 4th round, just now, we just took Trey Hodges-Tomlinson. We took a corner. Damian Thomas's nephew.
So, where do we go? GM, what do we do here? It's the 6th round, and this is my part where you take the best player available, my opinion.
An agreement and with that terminology. Now I'm also looking on where else I might want to solidify both depth, and you never know. And I'm looking at, I want a center. I want a purebred center whose dad taught him how to snap out of the shotgun formation since he was 5 years old. Like literally, I want a pure blood center.
Well,
And
then I like the guy from Penn State that's there. Scroll down.
Juice Scruggs.
Yeah. Scruggs.
I like and I'm not saying that I don't like Connor Williams. I'm very happy with Connor Williams, but I want someone who can.
I think you need to have somebody there. Click Juice Scruggs. Just interested to see what his
he is.
He's got a pretty decent overall draft grade, 71. Scroll down.
Yeah, most of the other stuff is locked, but snaps by alignment is pretty useful. He's a big center guy. He played some right guard as well in 2021, so that's nice to see that extra depth as well.
I mean, look, I think this is the guy right here. I think this is the pick, Juice Scruggs.
Yeah, the thing about drafting a center,
it's great value for a 6th round pick. Caslin said, "Where did Darius Rush from CB from South Carolina go?"
Got you. Let me see if I can quickly just search that. Like that. Yeah, Darius Rush went 72nd overall in the 3rd round. So just before our picks in the 3rd. Great corner though.
All right, I say we go Juice Scruggs here. We got more mock drafts to do, and I want to.
Yes. Yeah, the first one's we're just discussing most of the prospects, I'd say, Steven, and after that we can pick up the pace a little. Would you guys be interested in a Keaton Mitchell? Or I'm down for center, but
here's the problem with going running back. We already have. I think if the Dolphins address any running back needs from here on out, I don't think it'll be in a draft pick. It'll be either be an undrafted free agent or somebody gets released at the end of training camp, right? So I'm gonna say no, you don't go running back in any way, shape, or form here.
Yeah. I mean, he told you what he was gonna do. He brought them all back. He brought them all back, and I don't think that they're going to spend capital on another running back. If we see an undrafted free agent, if we see a scrap heap veteran come in for camp battling and bodies, sure. But those are your 4, I believe, and the 3 core who will get the carries is Mostert, Wilson, and Ahmed.
I'm gonna go wide receiver here. What is Muhammad?
Muhammad Abram was a nice running back. He met with the Dolphins, I know, at the combine. He didn't run a 40, but he did perform in the drills. 5'8", 200.
Did he say he have an 89 draft grade?
Yeah, the running backs are graded very well.
Draft.
Yeah, this is a very good running back late in the draft.
That might be not a bad it just contradicts everything I just said there about the running back situation.
Come on, coach.
But 89, that's crazy value in the 7th round. Right? You agree with that, GM Sarney?
I like the value, but then I'm looking at my room. I'm looking at who they brought in. I'm looking at, they got a guy like a Braylon Sanders who is a reserve futures contract guy too, who could be throwing his name in the mix. So I don't know if receiver's the right spot there, but give me the rundown of who we got. We got a cornerback, we got a lineman, we got a tight end.
Yep.
I have to make the new coach happy and the defensive coordinator and Fangio. So I would look for a chess piece kind of player. I would look for a linebacker. I would look for one of those maybe safety kind of nickelback kind of guys.
Just click Muhammad. Click Muhammad. Click
I
Muhammad.
like Muhammad Diabate out of Utah. Great player.
Right there. Click Muhammad.
Okay.
Not a great draft grade.
I mean, they have not gone with this in the draft. I think that you need to get some toys for the coach to play with, and to coach up. So yeah, I would think you get a linebacker here.
I think you go best player available, and I think Muhammad, clicks that box for you at two with the a value of 208 with the 238. I'm just gonna say let's just go best player available at the position of need, and I think linebacker Muhammad.
BPAON, as Jason beautifully put it at the beginning of the episode, man. And I really like that Juice Scruggs pick because he played 600 snaps at guard.
Caslin did want to know if Ben Sims, tight end, was still there. We'll do that in our next one.
We can check the full results in a second. This is the great. Oh, we got an A-.
We got an A-. All right. So with the second, we did with the second round, 51 overall, Matthew Bergeron. Nando, just briefly talk about Bergeron and why you like him. You're a Syracuse guy to begin with.
Bro, that offensive line, the versatility, the leadership qualities we were talking about, but the versatility to play guard or right tackle is awesome. Particularly a guy can play naturally at right tackle, so he can handle that position, handle the blind side. He can play left tackle if need be in case there's injuries and we've got to reshape and reorganize. But for right now, we would get a blind side protector for Tua. We would address that offensive tackle spot, probably the best thing we're going to do after missing the top tackles in free agency. And he can handle it. He can handle it day one, ready to go. He's athletic. He's mean, and I'm all for it, man. That's what I need. Improve the offensive line.
Jason, we lost Mike Gesicki. We drafted in the third round, the 93rd overall pick by trading back, by the way, to get the tight end out of Michigan, a Stephen Ross guy. Tell me why this is a good pick, although he has a C- grade from this mock draft.
Pardon. The grades are the grades, but you're not getting a top 6 tight end. Maybe you're getting right outside. They get in the second tier, which is fine. I like Shoemaker. He could do a bit of everything well. I don't think there's a detriment to the game. And as long as you're not getting someone who's got a glaring hole in the blocking and route running, I think he could do everything just enough to be a very fine third round pick, which we got after picking up a deal.
Dolphins made a trade. We had the 84th pick. Carolina obviously wanted to come up and draft somebody that they were in love with. And because of that, we got a 4th round pick. We got 114. And we turned that into an A+, the best pick of the draft, the best value of the draft, Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson, a cornerback out of TCU. Love this kid. I've actually heard a little bit about him, obviously, being a family member of LaDainian Tomlinson. This kid, to get him at 114 is unbelievable.
Home run.
Yeah, I mean, huge home run. He's the 59th player on the PFF big board, and to get him at 114 is just unreal, actually. So I'm really happy about it. The next pick with the round 6, 197, Juice Scruggs. He's a true center. This guy's played center most of his collegiate career, and unlike Connor Williams, who obviously moved from guard to center. God forbid something happens to Connor or we decide to move Connor to guard, you have a true center who's played in some really good collegiate football games against some really good defenses. So I love the Juice Scruggs pick too. And then obviously, just like what Jason Sarney said, you have Vic Fangio there. Hey, here's a little present for you at the 238th pick. We'll give you a nice linebacker from Utah. And we know that Utah team's been pretty good the last few years.
And just to speak on the Scruggs pick, and listen, a lot of times, unless I fall in love with a prospect, to me, it's the position that's almost more important because a lot of these players, you just don't know. You don't know what's in here. You don't know what's in here. You could see what's happening in the combine. You could look at all these fun highlights, but then again, you just don't know how the college kid translates into being a pro's pro. So I'm also looking at what free agents and starters are going to be free agents next year and say, oh my God, maybe we have a good problem to have. And that fits Connor Williams' free agency in 2024. So remember, there's a huge amount of 2-year deals from last year and with free agents now that have either re-signed or have been brought in. A lot of 2-year deals. So this rookie class will really try to be the question an organization could potentially ask themselves in a year. Do we have to re-sign this guy? What if we give Juice a chance? Or kind of doubling up with a prospect like that who is a purebred center and a Connor Williams, who, let's say Juice is kicking butt, or a center is kicking butt in practice, left guard as a whole. Connor Williams played left guard his whole career prior to this year at center. So that's not out of the realm of flexible possibility. And remember, this time last year, everyone's excited they signed Connor Williams. Oh my God, they're moving him to center. So things can happen unexpectedly moving on a line. So I like a purebred center for the flexibility purpose.
In the chat right now, I want you to tell me what you all think of this draft, this mock draft. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Put it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Where do you like this mock draft on a scale of 1 to 10? Put it in the chat right now. I want to hear from you. This is the first mock draft that we've done. We're going to do a couple more. Nando, do you want to set the board up for the next mock draft?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to download this one so we have it for later if we want to pull it up again.
Awesome.
And then, let us know what you thought about it. How happy as a Dolphins fan, 1 to 10, would you be walking home with this? On draft.
Noob says 4.5.
4.5.
I think I think you're doing us a disservice. I think that was a really good draft. I like it. I think it's an 8. I think it's an 8 for me personally.
I'd give a nice 8 for us for sure. Nice little 8.2er. Not the greatest draft in the world, but some great needs filled out there.
Rashad Brown said 1.52. Man, y'all are harsh. Y'all are harsh. They don't like our mock drafts, guys. They don't like them at all.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, come on. Let's go. Let's do the next one.
Chop chop. No Musgrave this time. Weipler's up there. Sam Laporta, Joe Tittman center. Although we've seen
Bergeron
center
again
later on. Probably Bergeron again is going to be the pick, I think.
What are the odds that Bergeron's really there for us at this pick at 51?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, I'll tell you, if he's drafted 33rd, that won't shock me. It just won't. If he's not taken by the Dolphins at 51, that would shock me. So I think this is a guy who could go up draft boards. I remember visits are like physical visits, not going on the field, but visits to team could happen. So his status as an offensive lineman meeting a team can go way up. So he's definitely a guy that I think will go shoot up the boards.
Go to the top of the board, Nando. Just want to see who's there.
Tanner McKee. The thing also with tackle, it's like Bergeron is a top 10 tackle, but I'd say he's the last good offensive tackle.
Go to Steve Avila. Let me look at Steve Avila. He's a guard.
He won't be available.
Yeah, he wasn't there last time for us. This is a beautiful pick.
Yeah, well then Avila's there.
Let's go Steve. I think this is the pick right here.
Steve.
We'll go Steve Avila here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've seen a lot of good things about him. If that's the pick, I would be shocked if he is there as well. I think he's a first rounder, maybe.
That's top awesome. 40. He's a great guard. Yeah. Interior offensive linemen sometimes just slide a little farther. Like that's also why, like Jason, I agree. I could see Bergeron going 33rd overall just because tackles get overdrafted and there could be a big run. And then it's day 2 and Matthew Bergeron is the best offensive tackle on the board. You got to draft him if you need a tackle. So
I want to elaborate on what you just said. Offensive linemen get overdrafted. Jason, why do offensive linemen get overdrafted in the NFL draft? Why is that a thing? I like that statement from Nando.
All right, I'll equate it to baseball. Well, let's bring baseball back.
Let's go.
You're watching baseball, you're watching BP, and you're seeing a guy just crank dingers out and you love watching the big heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit further into the year, his body is breaking down. He can't hit the curve. He's not doing well with people on base. And just what you saw at the naked eye, there's a lot more negative behind it. So a lot of people love power hitters. Let's get a power hitter, Same thing with the offensive lineman. He's big, he's nasty, he's strong off the box, strong off the line. He's benching 32 reps, but it ain't translating on the field. I think the lore of size and strength for offensive line is huge. No pun intended. So when you're looking at a 6'7", 340-pounder who could athletically move on the field without pads, the lore is extremely there, I think.
You agree with that, Nando? Is that why you made that statement?
1000%, man. It's the nice pick. It's that big boy. It's always like people say it's not the flashiest pick, but if you like football, that drafting offensive lineman is usually good for your team. So people love it. And there's not that many good offensive linemen in the NFL, so everybody wants one. I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but like I assume like everybody wants that big power hitter. Everybody wants the guy who can hit dingers, go yard every single time. Right. I want the biggest offensive lineman. Every year you see that big boy who can move in the underwear Olympics, and you go, please give me him.
That's exactly right. But there's so many factors that are not in the underwear Olympics, and that's and that could be so shown from an offensive line because if he gets beat and leads to a sack, he gets beat, he leads to an injury. That's so prevalent these days,
And before we get back into the mock draft, just want to state you also said earlier, Jason, because now we just drafted a guard with our first pick. Okay, now we're sitting there. If offensive lineman is such the heavy pick, you had made the statement earlier in the show. Look, I don't think that we're going to go 2 offensive linemen with our first 2 picks because then it shows Greer screwed up in free agency. I'd like to think that Greer doesn't have an ego like that, and that if the best player is a guard there, I want you to argue with me, debate that if you would, because I feel like if the offensive lineman is there that's of value, you do go 2 offensive line picks there.
There is, I believe, if I had a knock Greer, it would be the talent evaluation on the offensive line. Yes. Why would you draft an offensive lineman again? I understand that, but they used an 18th overall pick in Austin Jackson. That was a miss. We could all understand that right now that was a miss. Even if he has a phenomenal season, they're not picking up the option. He's not a future Dolphin in all likelihood. We'll call it a miss, right? And then you have a trade up for Liam Eichenberg. So not only did, you lose a pick in a future draft, I believe it was for a future pick. I could be wrong. But, you're telling the world that you like Liam Eichenberg enough to make a deal. That doesn't look like it's working out. But it seems that he has told at a press conference 3 weeks ago to the day that those guys are penciled in, essentially. That's just stubbornness. It's like going back to the person in the abusive relationship. Nah, that won't happen again. Nah, that won't happen again. But it just may. And I think Greer is probably looking for outs in case. But I don't think he's going to blatantly put out there with 2 picks. That just screams there's problems in the room. Like, screams.
All right, Nando, we have one of our scouts, Caslin, with his $2 donation. Says Avila is the perfect pick here.
Good. I think he's applauding our last pick we just chose Steve Avila.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. There we go.
Got you.
So with that being said, though, Avila being the perfect pick, where do you go here, Nando?
So that's actually, I know we're saying we're not going to go double offensive lineman. I mean, we might go address it later in the draft, but Jason, if we went guard, I love Steve Avila. I think he's a great player. He's a great prospect to have. Would you still be concerned at right tackle? Or would Steve Avila be good enough that you're like, let's hit defense. I'm much more confident in this offensive line.
I am concerned about right tackle now. I'm concerned about left guard. I'm concerned about right tackle. Me reiterating the words that a GM might have spoken, I'm not necessarily endorsing it, but the man did say what the plan seems to be. This is a plan I don't like. I'll come up with that right there. If I were doing, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to draft 2 offensive linemen. I think it's actually rather smart. I don't think Greer will do it to the point I made, because I think that there is a position.
We got scouts here that are clamoring. Cruz likes Luke. Caslin with his $2 donation says Weiler, center from Ohio State, would be amazing here. We got the scouts in the scouting room that are clamoring for the center here from Ohio State. Luke
Again.
Weiler.
What you think a GM would do versus what you really want them to do could be completely different things, and that's okay.
What happens when a scout's in the war room saying, guys, if you miss out on this pick, you're going to regret it? Like,
it does happen.
You're going to think I'm crazy, but this is one of the best scouts in the room, and I'm not even kidding. Stand up on your chair. I'm not even kidding. Like, stand up on your chair, throw a clipboard, do something to show. I will guarantee you that in some war room in the last 70 somewhat years of the NFL, some positional scout did something similar to that. And I'll tell you, it might have happened with Javon Holland a couple of years ago. But anyway.
Sean Noob says don't need a center, but then Robert says if we got a center, we could move Williams back to left guard where he played out in Dallas. Cruz says backup center though. Guys, remember we just took a tackle off of the board.
You took a guard.
We took a guard off of the board.
Yeah. If we had taken a tackle, we could do all these scenarios. But because we got a guard, it's a little different. You know, like we can't really move Connor Williams to guard if we just got a guard.
So Nando, where do you want to go here? Where do you want to go?
Unless, do you guys think Robert Hunt could play tackle?
I don't mess with that. No.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that either. That's what I'm saying.
Mess with a good thing.
Don't break what's not broken.
The only thing that I would mess with, if hypothetically the Dolphins did create a new center, which is so good that they have to move Connor to left guard, you create with a healthy Tehran a 1 through 4 left to right, no hole. So the only issue is a big issue with the blind
Ken
side.
Rosa, another scout. Remember the people in the chat or the scout today. Connor's on the last year of his deal, GM. Right. I believe I'd like to find his replacement.
You'd like to find the competition and the option for that. Guys, I hate to do that. Wait a second. Hold on. In about 30 seconds, I have to run to another work call. But I'm going to be back in a half hour. But hold on. I want to see if there's any clarity with the fun stuff. I'll be here for another minute.
Okay.
Got you.
Do your thing.
Remember, we did find a center in the 6th round. Juice Scruggs was there. Ricky Stromberg was there. Well, I'm hoping the dots are good, Jason. So I would want to find a replacement for Connor Williams. I agree. I just think there might be a better value to get interior offensive lineman later in the draft. And again, we just got Steve Avila. Like if we had gone last time and did Matthew Bergeron and then got Weipler now, I would love that. Then we're talking about fixing tackle. And then you can put Weipler at guard or Williams at guard, whoever wins out that job. As long as you have the best 5 offensive linemen on the board, on the field, that's all you need. Jason, give me good news.
Any good news, Jason?
I'm going to be late to the call just to let you know if there's going to be news or not news.
That's a real friend right there to the show. Guys, while we're sitting here hitting the reset button, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is the mock draft breakdown. Stephen D, Nando Talk, Jason Sarney. Jason's about to temporarily head out of here for about a half hour, and then he's going to come back. And we're going to, at that point, I think Nando and I in the in-between, we're going to do 2 mock drafts ourselves. Let's pick somebody here. I don't think we're going to do a trade. I think we got to go pick somebody here. And if I'm honest with you,
I'm between Weipler or Jamie Robinson. Weipler.
Well, then I think you go. I think that the new head coach in the building, the new defensive head coach, is going to make a stand and say, give me one of these. Give me either Eli Ricks, Jamie Robinson, or Travian. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jalen Jones is a little slow. He ran like a 4.63. He's huge. He's 6'2". But if I'm getting size, I'm getting athleticism. If I'm getting a defensive toy for Fangio, yeah, give me Jamie Robinson. I think he'd be overjoyed.
All right, let's go Jamie Robinson.
Through the moon. And I agree. It's kind of why I want tackle in the 2nd round instead of, Steve Avila is a great player, but Bergeron just allows us to have more flexibility in that 3rd round, man. Because if not, we really are just tied to getting a defensive player. Because Weipler is awesome, but we can't get 2 interior offensive linemen back-to-back like that.
All right, so now we're in the 6th round. We've drafted a defensive player at safety, right?
Yes.
And we've drafted a tackle, or we drafted a guard. What did we draft? We drafted a guard. All right, where do we go here? It's the 6th round. You go best player available. Well, Ricky Stromberg. I do like Ricky Stromberg.
Ricky Stromberg at
Arkansas. The tight end from Miami's good too.
Will Mallory's pretty clean.
Yeah,
he's very much more of a receiver. Very athletic. We don't have Juice Scruggs. Jake Andrews out of Troy is still here. Best 2 centers after Scruggs would probably be Andrews or Stromberg. I really like Ricky Stromberg.
Bryce Ford Wheaton out of Ohio State, the wide receiver. I know that we need another. I will not be surprised if in the 6th or 7th round the Dolphins go after a wide receiver. What do you think about that here, Nando? I mean, is it possible the Dolphins go wide receiver here?
I definitely think it's possible. I hope Eric Ezukanma is a little bit further developed that we don't need to. We did bring back Craycraft.
Guys, I will be right back. Sorry to keep you hanging. I will be right back.
No worries,
Thank you,
Jason. Thank you, boss. And I don't know. I do think a lot of people were talking about getting a Connor Williams replacement, and we did pass that up in the 3rd round, but pretty much because my logic was that Steven in the 6th round, we would have someone, maybe like Jake Andrews or Stromberg. I like Stromberg. Might be a little earlier for him, but offensive lineman is a nice way to go. Like a receiver would be cool, but I'm hoping with the depth we have and the talent we have at Waddle and Hill that it's not too much of a concern. The size of a Bryce Ford Whedon at 6'4" can't be understated, but I don't know, Steven, Mr. Coach Daniels.
I mean, look, 197th pick to get a guy of that value there. Scroll down just a little bit.
Because Will Mallory is pretty nice too.
Scroll up.
Sorry.
I think you got to go tight end. I think Mallory's the pick here. It's not the best value.
Let's go with
but he's look, he knows Miami. Miami knows him. To me, I think you go Will Mallory here.
Let's rock it. I'm gonna hope Stromberg somehow falls to us later on.
Well, he's there. Well, you go Ricky Stromberg here, no doubt. You go Ricky Stromberg. Oh, Muhammad's there too, though, at 208.
Yeah, we got Fangio. We got Fangio, Jamie Robinson, though. So this is what this would be.
All right, let's go Ricky Stromberg. Let's go Ricky.
It's like we're creating
Ricky's a 7. Ricky, you go Ricky here, Stromberg, no doubt.
We were debating him in the 6th round. You got to go with him in the 7th, and it's not like we're creating controversy. I just think it's two coaches who have a vision for their team and they want to build the best units possible. Like we did it here. I think we get an A- still.
We got an A- again, guys.
With no trade backs.
No, with no trade backs. Like it. Will Mallory, look, it's too funny. Both of our mock drafts so far, the tight ends have been C pluses. Why? Well, that's interesting. Like, did they just not hold their value in mock drafts?
So it's partially that.
Who's the guy we got last mock draft?
Stoonmaker.
He was drafted by Pittsburgh in this mock draft, I think, in the 2nd round.
Our grade for it also impacts how PFF thinks we need tight end. So they don't really think Dolphins need tight end. Understandable, I guess. I don't know if they're factoring Gesicki as still a quote unquote Miami Dolphin, but if not, regardless, I've gotten Darnell Washington, I've gotten Musgrave, I've gotten Laporta. They're always going to give you a skewed grade for tight end, and it's partially because they don't really value that as a position for the Dolphins. We as the fans, we would like one, but PFF for some reason doesn't really think we do need one. I disagree. I would love Will Mallory here. Like I'd bump that up to a B- at the very least, which would give us an A. So there you go.
I 100% agree. All right, let's bring in our boy Jason back. Welcome back, Jason.
Andrew Van Ginkel is staying in Miami. 1-year deal details out tomorrow. Just tweeted it. Talk to you guys in a bit. Andrew Van Ginkel staying home.
Breaking news right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Andrew Van Ginkel staying home, staying in a Miami Dolphins uniform. Jason Sarney just broke the news live right here. 1-year deal. At least 4 other teams were in the mix. Yet he will be a part of Vic Fangio's defense. The 5th-round linebacker had an opportunity within the AFC East, but will stay home as a Miami Dolphin. Let's go. Andrew Van Ginkel staying in Miami. I like it. I think it's a good pick. Are you excited about that, Nando?
Hey, man, I'm just excited I can finally get a better signature on my hat. It means he stays on the squad. I can tell him to fix up the SIG. And hey, there we go. It's a great outside linebacker to have. If Fangio says he's in for the team, he's part of the system, I'm down for it. Like anyone he decides to keep, anyone decides to send away, anyone decides to draft, I'm in for the Fangio vision, man. Like it's lovely to hear from me, Steven. I love the versatility Van Ginkel brings as well. So let's go for it, man. I'm
excited to see Andrew Van Ginkel back. I think he brings a lot to the special teams room as well as the obviously linebacker room. All right, let's go back into our mock draft. Go ahead and download that. That way we have that one. Download that. Scroll up and download that bad boy, Nando. And then we'll go into the next one. This one we're going to do with the fans in the room. Just
Let's
waiting
go. I'm downloading it. Hold on. Someone said DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. I thought that was confirmed, so I had to Google it really quick. It has not been. I was really scared.
Who needs ESPN? That's right. Who needs ESPN when you have Miami sports music out here? Okay, this is you, the fans, opportunity. We're going to go quick, so get ready to chat. Put in the chat who you guys want to go with, okay? Start the draft.
Turbo speed.
All right, fans, we got BJ. I can't pronounce his last name, but the
BJ Ojulari, Steve Avila's there again.
Linebacker Steve Avila, or is it Avila?
I have no clue, man.
I think it's Avila.
Let's go with Avila.
We got Tyreek Stevenson, the corner out of Miami. We got Luke Weipler here, Garrett Williams, Sam Laporta. Who do you guys want? Put it in the chat right now. Matthew Bergeron is there at tackle. Remember, we got the 51st pick. But look, a lot of value. Scroll back up so people can see the value that we have here. It's whatever you guys want. Put it in the chat, and the majority will win. And we'll wait about a minute, and we'll see what you guys put. So keep scrolling slowly up and down a little bit so that they can see everything. In the chat, who do you guys want? Cruz says Avila.
Yeah, he's nice.
I like that Bergeron's still there too, but Marino's goat says Laporta. Sam Laporta, the tight end out of Iowa. Gabriel Sosa says Pete at kicker.
I'd be down for Pete.
You can't remember the league when they were doing the fantasy draft and Taco kept on drafting kickers. Taco, you can't have 7 kickers. I like kickers. They're people too.
I tried to search Pete. He did not pull up any results, unfortunately. So
Canes 1989 says Cuse or App State's running back.
Okay, the Cuse running back Sean Tucker is phenomenal. 5'11", 211 pounds. It's very easy to remember, and he's got some power. He didn't run at the combine, but he did meet with the Dolphins in an interview. He's like a 4th round guy, and he's someone who, if we pick up a 4th round pick, if we don't get Luke Schoonmaker, I would love Sean Tucker just because he brings something different to the running back room. Like, I could see us passing up on Keaton Mitchell because it's more speed, and we already have plenty of that. But Sean Tucker's got some power to him, and I would love to bring that to the Dolphins. But
I love it too, man. All right, man. Marino's goat says best tight end available. Guys, put it in the chat. Who do you guys want here? Put it in the chat. This is y'all's pick right now. Put it in the chat. Who do y'all want? Matthew Bergeron, Joe Tippmann.
I love Tippmann's
Carl
hair.
Brooks, Sidney Brown, Nick Herbert.
Brown, phenomenal combine.
Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson, Eli Ricks, Julius Brents, Jamie Robinson. Scroll back up.
Remember, some of these guys we've seen in the 3rd round. So, like Hodges Tomlinson.
Yeah, a couple of these guys will definitely fall, to obviously go back and pick through. Caslin says Avila. Cruz says Avila, whatever. All right, right now it's between tight end. I got people saying the best tight end available because Marino's goat has said tight end. Kane's 1980 or actually Marino's goat said tight end. It's all Marino's goat saying best tight end available.
I do like Sam Laporta. I just think it might be a little early. Steve Avila's phenomenal.
So it sounds like Avila is going to be the guy that we go here because that's where the only a couple people have said something. So let's go with Avila draft.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, here we go. Luke Weipler still on the board. Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson still on the board. What was our first 2 picks, by the way, Nando?
We've only picked one guy so far. We've only picked Steve Avila.
Yep. Okay. Steven, if we got that tight end, would make him a backup tight end or starter right away. Hard to make a choice without a first round pick.
It really is. No, that's a great point. I'm looking at the board right now, not the chat, but whoever said that, like, that's a phenomenal point, because we're just sitting here saying it's just the 51st pick in the draft. This is a pick that holds the weight of a first rounder. Okay. When we were talking about the third rounder last year, it was easy to say, like, it's just a third rounder. A second rounder is still a great pick to have. And at 51, we have to hit big. Like, that's why we sit here, we debate, like, they're going to use the full 10 minutes. If they don't, it's because you should be over the moon that they found the guy exactly on their board. But for the most part, we're probably going to be deliberating.
Dolphin Don says OSU center for me if he's still available here. Oh, yep, Weipler's still here. What Noob saying we don't need a center though. What else? Come on, guys, put it up in here. Who do you guys want to see pick? This is y'all's mock draft here.
Yeah, Noob,
Y'all,
who do you want then, brother?
We got Michael Wilson, we got Jamie Robinson, Eli Ricks, Dwayne McBride, Dorian Williams. Remember, we're not going to get another pick till the 6th round, so we need to make this one count.
Dude, Dorian Williams has 6'8" wingspan, Steven. He's a passing lane eraser. And my guy is a pass coverage specialist, especially in zone. He's pretty nice. It might be a little early for him.
B said they will take the best player available regardless of position here. Caslin says now you go get your tight end or you get one in the 6.
Should we entertain a trade down, Steven?
Yeah, let's look at a trade. I mean, well, no, I mean, do you guys want to trade back if there's a trade available, or do you guys just want to grab the next person? Put it in the chat. The Realist Miami Dolphins YouTube says center. So it sounds like center seems to be the pick here from Ohio State. Luke Weipler seems to be the consensus here.
Yeah. We'll do it for you, for the scouting department. You know, you guys have done your work over the year, and the GM is going to reward you with Luke. For the people, Steven. For the people.
DDG says best player available that isn't a quarterback, which I think was Weipler there.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them saying, like, you know what? Dang, we just got a guard, and Steve Avila was the best player available at the time. But so is Luke Weipler. Like, it's too tough to pass up on, you know?
All right. All right. So now we have, what do we have? What was our first 2 picks?
Guard and center, man.
All right. Well, you got to go defense here.
Yeah. Now, like, okay. It's not
or
like
tight end. Defensive player or tight end. Who's the best tight end on the board still?
Yeah, fans, you're screaming right now. Will Mallory.
Will Mallory again. Oh, Ricky Stromberg's there at center, but we already got a center.
Yeah. This is why, like, I love offensive linemen, guys. And I think there just happens to be in this class a bunch of interior guys who are very talented. And it's not like to say we shouldn't get Luke Weipler or Steve Avila, but there's not as big of a depth at tackle. There's not as big of a depth at positions like linebacker, safety.
Barry Jackson just quoted Jason Sarney's tweet. What?
Barry Jackson?
Barry Jackson just tweeted 31 seconds ago, and I quote, per source, Andrew Van Ginkel's intention is to re-sign with Miami, barring last-minute snag. As Jason Sarney noted, they're working on a deal. Per source, Fangio reached out to him, told him they would like him back. He visited New England and spoke to Las Vegas. Let's go, Jason Sarney. Right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. What? We're out here breaking news out here, people. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little hype. That's awesome that Barry Jackson gave Jason the shout out there. And Will Scott from Chat Sports also just, man, Jason out here with the W today. Jason's the real winner today, y'all. Jason is hands down the real winner today. Super excited for Jason. Love it. Love my guy. Love it. Love it, man. We out here, Nando.
Yeah, out here. That was awesome, man. You know, hats off to Jason, man. Hat on, just so I could say hats off to Jason. That was awesome, getting me riled up like that. And it No, I'm not gonna lie. My brain was a little addled, and you said Barry Jackson. I thought of Barry Sanders for a second, and I was like, "Let's go!" That's why I was like, "The Barry Jackson." I was like, "Barry Sanders over here just quoted me." Barry Jackson's still awesome, bro. Like that's sick that Jason got that breaking scoop, and that you guys were here on air with us. I mean, let's go, bro.
I know, man. Super excited about it. All right, realist Miami Dolphins fan says Keaton Mitchell would be a perfect fit for us at running back. He could possibly start. Is Keaton Mitchell available there?
I was just looking for this Ben Sims guy that Chasm was talking about. I don't see him.
Yeah, Chasm said Ben Sims there.
Keaton Mitchell is lovely though. He's a 4.37 speed. He's a little bit smaller out of East Carolina, but
all right.
Such a great athlete, bro. Fluid to the bone.
He said, let's grab a running back and we'll get an OT from free agency that gets released and starting caliber. Let's go Keaton Mitchell here. I like it. Let's go.
179, but that 4.37 speed, like Steven, the fastest running back was Devon A-Chain, and he ran a 4.32. Like this guy's 0.05 seconds slower. That's it.
Let's go Keaton Mitchell here. Sixth round.
Fangio's screaming.
We went offense first 3 picks. We got to go defense here.
Fangio's like, please.
And by the way, none of them were a tight end. None of them were a tight end. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see who we got here.
If Will Mallory was there, I was going to get him.
Nope, just scroll up. I already know who we need to get. Muhammad's there.
Diabate. I'm just going to check Ben Sims real quick. I want to see where this dude. I don't think there's a Ben Sims in the draft class, Mr. Caslin. There's a couple of Bens. But I was just looking for them in the search. We're going Muhammad. Will Mallory had just gotten taken 5 slots before, by the way, Steven.
All right, this is y'all's the chat draft.
Chat draft. Ooh, chat.
You guys got a better grade than all of us combined, and no C's on the board. Steve, Luke, Keaton, Muhammad. Not bad. Break this one down for us, Nando. Tell us how the scouts in the chat did today.
So we definitely went best player available, which is never a bad strategy. And when we went Steve Avila, it's a guy who you don't think is going to be there on the board. One of the best guard prospects and out of TCU. The kid is ready to go, plug in and play. I don't want to move Connor Williams, really. So here, Steve Avila presents us the choice of Tron Armstead, Avila. I can't say. I'm just going to call him Steve. We're going to get Tron Armstead, Steve, and Connor Williams. But then, Luke Weipler in the 3rd round, he falls from the 2nd to the 3rd. And it's like, you know what? We got it. We got to get him. Best dude available has to be. And while I don't really want to move Robert Hunt, in this world, it's about getting the best 5 players on the field. So we would probably be moving Robert Hunt to right tackle and then trying to field Weipler in that guard. Say, hey, we're creating a spot for you. We'll put it in there. Then you've got the best offensive line I've seen in the last 10 years, Steven. So you get Keaton Mitchell behind that 4.37 speed, a beautiful masterpiece to bada bing, bada bang.
People aren't being, I don't want to cuss, but they're not complaining about, oh, Myles Gaskin. Why?
What's happening with him?
Why?
Shout out to Miles. We like Miles here. Chat, I like the draft you guys designed. I like the players you guys chose. I would personally have preferred, if we're going 2 offensive linemen, I would have preferred to go Bergeron and then Weipler to kick Weipler out to guard. But hey, we got double offensive linemen. We got Keaton Mitchell, and we still got a great defensive player in the 7th round. Tight end. We didn't reach on anyone. We didn't make a big move, but we got Durham Smythe. We've got Eric Sauber. We've got a couple. We got a room. Okay, and then offensive line tackle wise, Steven, we have to hope someone gets cut, and we can pick him up right now. It's a decent. I like the draft. It got an A. Download.
Jason Sarney's tweet has 457 likes and 114 retweets.
Very nice.
Let's go, Jason Sarney, Brad right here. All right, he wasn't Brad, but he's part of the team, and I love it. Miami sports music out here breaking Miami Dolphins news. I'm sorry, I'm hype about it. We need to be. I'm too hyped. All right, let's do another draft. Download this bet. Did you download it?
Yes.
You didn't download. Okay, you did. All right. This is what we're gonna do. Now I'm going to do the draft. Best player available. Then you're going to do the next one, and then we're going to do trades only draft. Where every pick we have to do a trade.
Every pick?
Yeah. We're just going to have some fun. Okay. All right, here we go. This is my turn, right? Scroll down. Ooh, let me look at Henley.
Big Boss Steven.
Linebacker, 70. I don't like the draft grade there.
He's a very fast dude, not the biggest guy. I didn't
Henley
want to
won't
compare
be
like
a take-on linebacker at his size. He's kind of the linebacker that excels with a free runway to ball carriers. I'm going to say no. We're not getting this guy. Next, let's see who else we got. Steve. We already know about Steve. We already know about Luke. Let me look at Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta. Oh, I like his draft grade. What is that? 80?
Yeah, 80.1.
Laporta is going to be a weapon on seams, owns flat routes. His speed combined with his, I can't read that. He's one of the best college tight ends we've graded in PFF college era. In fact, his 20 broken tackles this past season were fifth most of our 9 years of grading. All right, I'm going with this guy. We're going Laporta. Going with Laporta. Draft
Coach
him.
fell in love.
Yep. Coach Sam Laporta, first pick. Let's go. All right, my next pick. We've already got our tight end. I'm not in love with anybody here. What trade do I have on the board?
Only one available to pick 95.
What pick are we currently in?
84.
Pick 95.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Make.
Here
Yeah,
you can pick up a fourth and a sixth or a fifth, I think. Yeah,
See-
yeah, it's a fourth and a fifth.
All right. Just do it once. Let's see if they accept it. They declined it. All right. Give me take the 146 and give me the 178. Get rid of that one. Give me the 178. Try that. Bam. Let's go. All
GM
day.
Steven.
GM Steven. Okay. So we went back how long? How many? And what did we pick up, by the way?
We slid back 11 slots and we picked up the 122 and the 178. So a fourth and a fifth rounder.
Let's go Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson here. I mean, he's just too good to still be on the board, personally.
Too good. I agree. And Fangio predicates a lot of secondary plays. So that's pretty lovely to see there on the board still.
What do we have so far?
You have a tight end, and then you just took the player Trey Hodgson. So you have a tight end and a corner.
All right, give me best offensive line available. Who's best O line available personally right now?
You might be a little screwed there, Steven.
Yeah, it's not looking good on the O line side here.
I do not know this Michigan center too well.
All right, click the Michigan center. Let's look at him.
Or the guard. No, center's probably better rated.
He's got a decent draft grade.
If Rashad is still listening, I know you said you were a Michigan man because you knew about Luke Schoonmaker. Do you know anything about this? I'm going to totally butcher this name. I'm going to try though. Olusegun Oluwatimi? Olusegun Oluwatimi? Oluwatimi? He's a center/guard player.
Somebody's saying KJ Henry. Show me KJ Henry. Edge rusher out of. I don't know if we need another edge. I mean, we're in the fourth round. I still don't know if we go best pick available. I think we go best pick available at position needed. Dorian Williams. Let me see Dorian.
He's pretty nice, man.
Is he a middle linebacker?
Yeah, he's a great pass coverage back. Oh no, it says they got him at weak side here, but he's not the greatest like tackler. He's more of a pass coverage linebacker, honestly, Steve.
No, I don't want him. Next,
Yeah.
I need to find good pick here. I'm not in love with anybody here.
There's a trade down spot again. But I don't know if you want to trade down again.
I don't want to trade down again. I want to get value out of this pick.
See, if you had gotten an offensive lineman in the second round, then Scootmaker would.
I know. I
be
feel
your
like
pick
I
here.
screwed this up. Scroll down. It's all right. That's why I'm not a GM. Hey, scroll up. I saw a linebacker. Scroll up. Scroll up a little bit
Cam
more.
Jones.
A little bit more.
Ivan
There we go.
Pace.
Ivan Pace Jr. Who's that?
Great grade.
Oh, great draft grade.
A little smaller dude, but he seems to be solid.
Well, I'm going to go with this. Too good of a draft grade. 92. I'm going to go with him.
Ivan, welcome aboard, Ivan.
I have not addressed the offensive line, though.
It's all good. We got pick 178 here to still do.
Well,
that
we're going
dirty
best offensive lineman. Whoever it is.
Juice.
Juice Scruggs. Let's go. Give me juice. Give me the juice. Give me the juice.
It would just be a great player name to have on the squad, too, man.
Another juice from Penn State. We already had one juice from Penn State that turned out well for us. Let's go. OJ McDuffie, my guy. Let me see this guard out of UCLA.
Antonio Mafi's nice. I like him.
What's his draft grade?
83. He is the solid classic guard.
All right, well, let's go with him. I'll pick him. Let's go.
Here you go, Steven, addressing the O-line. That's what I'm saying. Interior offensive lineman, like you can wait on a bit. There is hope for it later in the draft.
Boy, I still get one more pick. I love it.
Yeah, you made some good trades, man.
I know, because I'm a boss. I'm a genius.
You recovered pretty well. I think you recovered pretty well.
Let me see Muhammad. I think Muhammad is where I'd like to go.
And there's real draft.
No, not the halfback. Not the halfback.
You did get Ivan Pace Jr.
I did, didn't I?
In the fourth round. You can go double linebacker.
I mean, I could totally see a world where that happens. What's the best punter available on the board? That's not a bad. I'm not bad at Anthony Manzano saying that.
I'm not familiar with these gentlemen's games.
Ooh, Michael Turk. Is that Matt Turk's son or brother? Former Dolphins punter?
I'm going to Google this. Michael Turk. How do I find his dad?
I would assume that he's related to Matt Turk.
Is Michael Turk related? Matt Turk has had a nephew, Ben Turk.
Nephew. All right, we're going with Michael Turk. We're keeping the family name within the team. We're going punter. Last pick. Let's go.
Nephew. I like that. I like that legacy pick right there. What is your grade?
I think it's a B plus. The punter hurt me. Sam Laporta's a C, B plus. I was right. I was on the money, wasn't I? I was on the money. The Laporta pick got a C.
Don't worry. I was saying you can get whatever tight end you want.
I like Juice Scruggs should be better than a C plus though. Ivan Pace, that was a great pick. A minus there. That was my best pick. Well, no, the guard out of UCLA was my best pick.
I like the Scruggs pick. And you have a much improved offensive line with some added depth there at tackle and guard. Like Mafi will be nice.
I probably could have got Michael Turk as an undrafted free agent and brought him into training camp and drafted, but I like the legacy there. All right, download that bad boy. Now it's your turn, and then we're going to do trades only. This is the fun of mock drafts. I love mock drafts.
It's always a fun time, bro. Like we're like,
Yeah.
if anything, it just gives us a way to talk about these prospects as well. You know.
Jason Sarney's tweet now has 668 likes. What the hell?
Go.
Let's go, Jason. I can't wait for him to come back on. Like it.
Steve Avila. Definitely not Whitebler.
Hey, speaking, hold on. The man of the hour is back. Ladies and gentlemen, the famous Jason Sarney's in the room. Jason, first of all, bro, real quick, we're going to pause the mock drafts. You out here breaking news and Barry Jackson out here quoting you in tweets, cuz? Today's an awesome day for Miami sports music and for you. I'm just throwing it out there. The family, the team out. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Sarney out here breaking news. Breaking news, my guy. Love it. What's up, cuz?
Hey, man, just good day. Good day.
I like it, man. Hit the like button. Dude, Barry Jackson quoted you in a tweet.
I like
that to me. Yeah, I'm an emotional guy. I've shown it. That was amazing. He didn't have to do that. Now, a lot of times in this business, you don't have to do certain things. You don't have to mention other people.
Jason, we love you, man. I love you. I love you, brother.
Yeah, who we drafting, boys? Who we drafting next?
You're a legend. Mr.
You're a
Jason.
legend out here, Jason. A legend.
Listen,
you're an animal.
To talk about an Andrew Van Ginkel, this is a guy who deserves it, man. And yeah, it was about that was the 7.5. Yes, it was.
They were just ragging.
That is true. What Barry mentioned and what is the thing that gave me hope is, yeah, Vic Fangio wanted him in. And this is why it might not happen in 12 hours or 24 hours or 3 days. There's so many moving parts. And with this specific situation, to have a new coach come on in, pick up the phone and say, I want you. How much is that worth in pre-tax dollars? I don't know the details of the money. That's going to come out. That's for
everybody's quoting you. Dov Kleiman just quoted you.
You got a Dov.
Dov Kleiman quoted you, man.
You're going to get
He
thousands.
For Jason Sarney. Well, you out here breaking news, cuz. Don't let Adam Schefter retweet you or quote you in a tweet, boy. Don't let him do it. Boy, I'm going to lose my mind if Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport quote Jason Sarney. We partying today, cuz. We out here partying. Let's go.
Jason,
Sorry.
I love your professionalism right now, man. Like, I love it. You're like
I'm going to talk for him. I'm going to talk. Real talk. All right. So
Jason is like, that guy scores his third touchdown, and he's like, I've been here before.
I've been here before. I know how to do this.
It's all good.
So,
I know
real
all
talk.
these.
Jason and I
Congratulations, though, man. That was awesome.
Jason and I have known each other, what, 3 years? Almost 3 years now?
Easy.
And so we've talked a lot behind closed doors about, the industry, how social media is, how beat reporters are, and nothing bad. We just have had conversations about how everything works. And so when you get something right and Jason's been doing this for a long time, and Jason won't say it, but excuse my language. I'll say it. I'm not going to cuss. I'll say it for him. Jason's been grinding for years doing this. And so when something like that happens and you get a shout out from Barry Jackson, who, by the way, like I'm not saying I love Barry, right? Like when Barry tweets something, you can take it to the bank that it's legit. And so for Barry to put Jason on the map and be like, hey man, I didn't get this. Jason had this story. Jason's right, man. People always want to be the first and they don't ever want to give credit where credit's due. But when you get credit, that's pretty awesome. And so for Barry to be like, hey, And now Dov Cliveman out here quoting you, bro. Like, I know how hard you've worked to get where you're at. We've had many conversations about it, you and I, behind closed doors. And I love you, brother. And I love that you're getting your shine right now. And
well deserved.
Big things ahead for Jason Sarney in Miami sports.
I'm uglying right now, so thank you.
Oh man, you can cry with dude. Hey, you got your time to shine. You got your time to shine. I'm a shout you out, man. I love it, man. Jason, this is one of the reasons why I told you that I believe in you when I made that call a few months back, man. Because I knew that you were this guy. Okay?
You are that man.
You are that man, dude. Dolphin Don said, AVG still a Dolphin. Best news I got today. And one of the fan broke it. Makes it that much better. Way to go. Let's go.
Congratulations, man.
I'm gonna let Jason do his thing. We're gonna go do it here. So, whew. All right. This is the rest of your mock draft, Nando. Where are you going here? This is your mock draft, period.
I'm going Matthew Bergeron, man. I'm going to tackle. I saw what happened to you, Steven, so I'm gonna.
I know. I got. I don't know. Did you download mine, by the way? Did you download mine?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
This is the 5th mock draft we're running. I also got blessed with more trade options than you. It's just the luck of the draw. But
I don't think my trade got rated as a B.
No, I'm saying I got more trade options than you. You only had one.
I know, but I thought I had a really good trade. I was good with the one trade.
Yeah, no, with the one trade you did, you squeezed it to perfection, GM Steven. I think I'm doing the exact same thing you did, though, so it's all good. I'm going to try. Oh, it has no chance of being accepted. No. Johnny.
Go do you, Jason. Go do you.
I'll be right back, guys.
Go do that.
Keep it on, Jason. Wow, I just
realized out here breaking NFL news and out here with being dad of the year. Y'all don't tell me nothing about Jason Sarney. That man's the real MVP today.
The realest of the real, man. So I got Matthew Bergeron, and I forgot to say I'm trading down. It worked out for me because not a single person on my board got taken. Garrett Williams surprisingly was still there, and Noah Sewell actually got taken at 81. That's very surprising by the Lions. But Garrett Williams, he's recovering from that ACL injury, a phenomenal corner. But I wouldn't take him. I get lucky also here. I get Jamie Robinson, Stevens. So that's the man
You're in love with him. Why do you like him? You've been talking about him all morning.
Dude, I saw him at the combine, man, and we're just, first of all, the comparison to the Ramsey and the German
click on his name
piqued my interest, but he's just very athletic, very versatile, man. Like with him, I see like a guy we could play as a true DB. You know how Jalen Ramsey just corrected people when he was like, I'm not a cornerback, I'm a defensive back.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jamie Robinson. He's a defensive back. He's a guy who, for Fangio, to get in the 3rd round and get that versatility, corner and safety, and the athleticism, the playmaking ability. He's shown he can do it at FSU. I'd like it. In the 3rd round, like you're able to get a guy who Fangio is happy to toy around and scheme up with. Let's do it, bro. Not the biggest dude, but athletic. Playmaker. I like that. I like
it too, man. Let's go, Jamie.
Ooh. So I did the same trade you did. So I got picks 128 and 209.
Okay.
With the Giants. Damn, Trey Hodges-Thompson just got taken by the Jaguars in our world. So sad.
On my draft grade, he was a C+, but the one we did earlier today, he was an A. So I don't know how in one draft he's an A and in another draft he's a C.
It's because of the value. Remember, one of the drafts we got him at like pick 114, and then in another draft we got him like in the 3rd round without the trade included. I think maybe.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why the trade is it's skewed to where you draft him. Who else is on the board as well? Like if he's the only corner, he's a great pick. But if there's like 8 corners, maybe they're saying like, oh, you probably could have gotten better value. Blah blah blah. Here though, again, I got the gift of foresight, and I got to learn from you, Steven. So I went offensive lineman and then tight end here. Okay, Mr. Scoonie Maker.
I'd be interested to know what his real blocking ability is.
Yeah, I just liked his interview, man. That's what sold me for him. I think he had some great answers. Yeah, he's a fine tight end. I liked what I heard, though.
I feel like Drew Scruggs is such a good pick here.
He is so nice. I would have gotten Keenan Mitchell if he was on the board just because I really like him in that speed. But yeah, Scruggs is probably the way.
And honestly, I somebody said earlier, I apologize to whoever said it in the chat, but they're like, you know, Connor's got 1 year left on his deal. Why not draft his replacement or somebody that can fill in? I just think that makes too much sense. It just makes way too much sense.
Yeah, I think he's a great player, man. I like Scruggs. And he can play guard, you know. He's a true center, but he can play guard. Lovely to see.
When Jason gets back, we're going to let Jason do his draft too.
Let's go.
Joe Shad just retweeted Jason Sarney's tweet.
He got Dov Kleiman's, man. Like that's a man who literally his account is based off of breaking news and like reporting it from sources. And the fact that Jason is one of those sources, like that's awesome. That's sick.
Well, we do things right here at the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Right.
Grinder.
Anything is possible. Sorry.
I'm probably going to go Eric Gray here, by the way. Great running back. Didn't have the 40 dash, but all the other drills, he was very fluid athlete, very, very nice runner out of Oklahoma. Damn. So sad. D. Winters would have been
like.
I'm probably going linebacker here, Steven. Like I would have gotten D. Winters. I saw him earlier, but I think he probably just got taken. He has like a 4.49 speed out of TCU. So Mohamed Diabate is probably going to be my guy. There's no Drake Thomas either. Oh my God. I almost clicked back. Nope. Cancel. That would have deleted everything. We're going to go Mohamed Diabate.
Mohamed. That's a wicked hard pick from Boston. Wicked hard. Mohamed. I like that guy. He's wicked hard. Oh man. Bro. Matthew Bergeron, A-. Jamie Robinson, B+. Your trade got a B. Luke got an A. Drew Scruggs got an A. Eric Gray got an A. Mohamed got a B. Dude, that's a pretty solid draft. Jason, are you there? Man, that is a solid draft. I know you're like the most famous writer right now out here breaking news and everything. I love it. Your turn to do a mock draft. Do you like this mock draft that he just did, Nando?
Very similar. Yeah. Jamie Robinson, I don't know a whole lot about. I would think that they would go corner other than safety, but definitely gotta consider defensive back. I like it. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Good grade. What was the trade? I can't read. Okay.
I've traded down from 84 to 89, picked up a 128 in the 4th round, and then picked up the 6th round pick.
Good. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
We ride from the most famous man in the Dolphins world right now, Jason.
The most famous man in the Dolphins world right now, Jason. Hold on, where's it at?
Stop.
I get a free A+. I get an immediate bump up.
Jason Sarney to the Miami Dolphins awesome panel, Jason Sarney, to the Miami Dolphins, awesome panel.
Stop.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I got like 13 more minutes, and then I got a 12:30 call, and then
all right. Well, Jason, you're going to do your mock draft right now, and I'm going to step away for 1 second while you do
Nando,
your
you're going to drive. You're driving in the pick and all that, and
I got you.
Telling you what to do.
Yes.
All right.
GM Sarney has returned.
So I can do really whatever I want here. This is completely having fun, right?
This is all you, man. You want to trade back? You want to trade
Stop it
up?
at Cleveland at 40 or 41.
Okay.
I'm going to make a call.
Bring. It is pre-draft. It is the day of. Draft has not started yet. Mr. Sarney calls the Cleveland Browns. They have the 42nd pick. Is that who you're interested in?
Right.
Okay.
Now, no.
No.
I'm going to throw the 84th with Jerome Baker.
Oh.
And this is not a slant on Jerome Baker. This is me who would love for him to succeed at a place where he's familiar with, Ohio. And what I'm looking for in compensation is my ability to maybe get 2 of my coveted players in this draft. So I want that 42nd pick. I know that there's a lot of salary that Cleveland would have to take on from Baker. So I say, you know what, guys? Give me 1 pick later on tomorrow. So let's throw 140.
140.
And get me back in the 3rd next year. And that's what I offer. And let's see the green bar next year, because we're without a 3rd.
Got you. I get what you're saying. Yes.
But you know what? Move that 140 back to 198.
I think let's try it with 140. It might work. But if not, the backup plan is.
We're trying. And they come back and say, no, too rich for our blood. We'll give you the 3rd. I don't want to do a sweetener. Then I say, you know what? No. You do the 142. No, you move it back to 198.
Accept it, fools. There we go.
Accept it.
That was our final offer. We're not going further back.
You're taking care of 3 situations right now. You're trimming money. You're recouping a pick next year, which they're kind of light on as well. And you're putting yourself in ability to have 2 picks in the top 52 picks.
I love that, Jason.
That's what I would try to do.
I love that train. Especially because we are light next year. That's why when you're like giving a 3rd, I thought you meant the Dolphins giving up 1. But no, us acquiring 1 next year is beautiful. And now we're at pick 42, ladies and gentlemen. GM Jason has done it.
Is Darryl Washington available?
No. I think
Jack Campbell is. Who'd we just trade?
Jerome Baker.
Let's go get Jack Campbell.
Wow. That's masterclass right there.
You just saved $10 million and you got a guy who could be better. And you picked
This is why Jason is the man, ladies and gentlemen.
Hats off, the hats on again. Wow. That's masterclass right there. We saved money, trimmed the fat, got an extra 3rd round pick, accumulated another pick this year, and we got Jack Campbell.
This ain't going to happen, but
it should.
It's fun.
Jason, if your mock draft comes true, I just want to throw it out there. Yeah, I just, you might be the man. You already are today, but that would be awesome.
I already respect you. I would adore you. So
guys, thank you.
You're making me blush, guys. Cut it out.
And we haven't even gone for the rest of the draft. That was literally just 1 pick. Now what do we do, GM Jason? I love the world we're living in.
Now we have pick 51. So look, where's my board at?
Top is Tanner McKee.
So here's another fun thing. Let's do our count. We got our linebacker. We're very, very happy. I see Sam Laporta available, but maybe he's available in 10, 15 picks. I see Matt Bergeron available. He would be the smart money. If I wanted to get a little crazy, knowing that I see 3 or 4 or 5 players, I see 6 players that I could tolerate, 7 players that I could tolerate. Do I try to trade that pick back to the 60s, maybe get a little bit back into the 4th or 5th this year? I'm going to make the call, but they're going to say no. But I'm going to prove what Greer and team do. They do diligence. Call. We're going to have to make a pick. I'm going to pick Bergeron.
Okay. I like where your head's at.
The last thing that I want to do is make the trade go back 10 and lose 3, 4, 5 of my top half of those players. Because you're talking top 50, top 70 players. That's a big difference between, like I mentioned earlier, 85 to the 100s. So we got 2 premium players right now.
Now we're going all the way to 190.
This is the part, and they've done this in a couple of, they have that low. They've done some damage. All right, let's recoup. Let's see what we need. Now we're in an area of the draft, very running back full, I'm sure. If you want to just show me the running backs, please, Nando.
I got you, boss.
Because now this is the aisle. Everyone has their favorite aisle in the grocery store that they shop in. And when it's the clearance, low-level, day 3 running backs, that's when Chris Greer is going to work. Because he doesn't draft running backs day 1 or 2. The top drafted running back he's ever had was Kenyon Drake, round 3. He traded that pick. Eventually, he traded Drake. He just doesn't value running backs as us fans do. So I'm looking in this area as the chance to maybe take a flyer. You drafted Gray last draft. I'm looking for a guy, and here's where I'm going to my scouts. We need a first down to save our life. We need 3 yards to save our life. Twice a week. Who's our guy? Like, who are we paying to pick up a first down like Lusaka Polite? Remember Lusaka Polite? He was
bro. I loved me. Let me hold on real quick. Lusaka Polite might be the best 3rd and short. If I had to create an all Dolphins team,
perfect,
and I needed somebody to give me 3rd and short or 4th and short under 3 yards, I'm handing it off to Lusaka Polite every time. Every time.
He's never lost.
He was the man on 3rd and
he was
short.
A fullback.
4th and short.
And of course, he was a fullback, but that's the mindset. I don't care if you're a fullback or a running back. If you need to pick up 3 yards to score a touchdown, to extend a drive, to create that first down, to win a game, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm asking my scouts, who is that guy? Because I only have the upstairs view. So I'm asking my scout team, what running back is going to be that nasty dude who maybe in 2 years, everyone's like, wow, that guy needs to be a starting running back. I'm asking you gentlemen, who are we picking of these halfbacks? That's where I'm looking right now, knowing what we've just done.
The East Carolina running back is where I go.
Very fast.
Yeah,
very
he's
fast. In this case, we got some good speed. I want that head down. We don't need to run him 15, 20 times. I want 2 or 3 or 4 where he's going to fall forward more yards than he has to pick up, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Just a jughead kind of, like a juggernaut kind of head kind of running back.
I know Tavion Thomas is supposed to be a power back. He ran like a 4.73, but he's pretty
It's
strong.
Too early there. So my point for the running backs is even better because you could probably wait a little longer. So looking at the board, we could look at some other positions that are of need. Look at that best player available of need scenario. And maybe you're looking at the center area. Is our guy Juice still available?
Juice Scruggs is not. Ricky Stromberg is. And
How are we in interior?
Mafi is. Also
interior O-line, how are we looking?
Probably need some help at guard. So I would say Mafi or Stromberg would be your best
the kid
options.
from UCLA. Mafi I like.
Yes.
Okay. So you're right in value. You're at need. All right. And you have the ability to wait if you do want to take a flyer on a running back who literally you might need. If he even gets above the practice squad. So I would go with competition to camp, a big body, flexibility, go Mafi.
Boom. And yeah, Juice Scruggs just got taken 2 picks before us.
But remember that position. If we're keeping the position model, I can live with certain players saying goodbye to.
I love that you hit that emphasis on position. Like, if we tackle an interior offensive lineman in the 6th round, that's all I need. Like, that's beautiful. And there's still running backs at 197. If you wanted to go that route, Jason, there's still tight end, tackle. Scroll back up. Anyone catch your eye?
Safety from Memphis, if we want depth.
Quindell Johnson. I like that.
And the only reason why I want this here now is I realize they brought in Deshaun Elliott. I realize they got Brandon Jones. But you know what? This is a good time if Brandon Jones is kind of taking smaller steps to getting back. This is a good time to evaluate a rookie, put him in the practice squad area potentially. But with Brandon Jones getting back, hopefully to form, I would be shocked if he's 1,000% at the start of training camp. But he's going to be back. But I would definitely draft some depth to throw on in there in training camp and practice and everything.
Oh, I love that. You can never have too many good DBs back there, especially for Fangio. If they like him, we rock with it. Now, where are you?
And I got 1 minute, guys, and then I got a call I got to jump on. And I'll
got you, bud. Tight end, running back, or offensive line.
You go Will Mallory here.
You know what? And here comes a fun double up at tight end. This is acceptable because this is one of those tailor-made seven. I like that, Steven, because, you know, he's a homegrown kid.
Yeah, you go Will Mallory here. You got the Miami link. Let's see how your draft did. Well, yours is taking a long time to grade. A-. He gave you a B for Jack Campbell there? Are you kidding me?
I think it's the trade because when you look at a trade, I mean, this guy hasn't played it down yet, and you're giving up a guy that's a 100 tackle guy, you know, so maybe they factor that in. Did we give up a lot? I don't think we gave up a lot because Nando had to kind of ask a couple of times, and maybe we had to put a little pressure on the acceptance of the trade. But
exactly,
I'll take a B because you know why? He was probably ranked in the 50s, and we drafted a little bit above grade.
I like the Jack Campbell pick. I love the trade. The Jerome Baker gets his contract off the books as well as, you know, it's a lot of talent, a lot of young talent in that linebacking room now. And it's up to Fangio to obviously prove what you would do it there. Matthew Bergeron's great. I love the UCLA pick. This is the second or third mock draft we've done where we've drafted him in the 6th round. Great there. Quindell Johnson, obviously, you know, having, you know, fifth round material. You getting him in the late 6th round there is awesome. And then obviously Will Mallory having the tight end, you know, from Miami, already knows the heat, already knows the stadium. I mean, I think he would be a great transition, and it's great value there at 193 pick to get him at 238.
I forgot that we didn't do a tight end, so the Mallory pick even makes more sense when I forgot.
Even more sense.
So hey, download this one. Download this one. This is Jason's mock draft. Jason, man, I think you're done for the day, man. Anything? Let me put you on the big screen while he's downloading that. Anything you want to say, man?
You know, this is was a fun mock draft, Nando. You listen, Nando, never change your aura, your positivity. And I love that about you. And Steven, I can't thank you enough for giving me the platform. And thank you to everybody. I know sometimes I could be I don't know, but I could be a character. But I appreciate everyone who is stuck with it. Fins up, everybody.
Keep being you, Jason.
You keep being you, Jason. You just keep being you handsome devil. You breaking news.
You handsome New Jersey devil.
on the Clock Blockers #1 Miami fan morning show. I'll see you Friday. Spread Kindness Friday.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have a big Spread Kindness Friday. Love it.
More fun
see,
stuff.
See what happens in a week, man. You see how everything.
I'm out.
Man. I love you, brother. Be good.
Love you guys.
Much love.
Man, awesome show today, man. He is such a great guy. I tell people all the time, it's not about the quality of the talent that you always get in this business, but it's the quality of people that you get to work with in this business that makes sense to me. And, that's why I love working with CB83. That's why I love working with Nando Talk. I enjoyed working with Batman, and obviously Jason, right? And Cameron. Everybody I've gotten a chance to really associate myself with closely. The Smoke Show, right? Nikki Smokes, Doll Freaky when she had her show up here. Just everybody that I've directly, and then Richmond Webb has done so much stuff with us. Everybody that I have done something with, Daniel Oyefusi, all 10 times better people than they are at what they do or what their dream is or what their passion is. They're 10 times better people. And that goes such a long way in life and in just doing stuff in this business. So I'm so happy that Jason got, the shout out that he so rightfully deserved today from Barry Jackson and Dov Cleveman.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason out here, man, love it. What's even more awesome is, what happened here on Clock. Technically, Clock Blockers broke news this morning. Real Miami Dolphins news. We broke it first here on the show. That's why.
It's all thanks to Jason, man. Legend.
All thanks to Jason. Legend. All right. So what I would like is send me those mock drafts.
Yes.
I think we got some really good ones today.
We got
how
6.
many mock drafts did we do? 6?
6.
We didn't do one that was trades only.
No.
You want to do a fun one real quick and do trades only?
I'm down, Steven.
And we're gonna screw around here and we're just gonna do trades only. So every pick, we can't make a pick until we make a trade.
Oh my gosh.
Cannot make a pick till we make a trade. We're gonna do one
there's
more,
a beautiful
player. This is
player.
just for fun. Doesn't matter. Those are the rules of this mock draft. Got to make
it's like PFF heard you. It gave us 10 trades.
We haven't had one today that had 10 trades.
Most we've had is 6, I think. Avila's there. Williams is there.
They know what we're about to do. We're about to do some trades.
Pittman.
No, trades first. We got to do a trade first before we draft. Trade first.
I just want to look at all the toys before you make me lose them.
I guess we could go up or down. I guess we don't have to necessarily.
That's valid. You can't really unturn back time. That's the only problem with the turbo thing. In theory, if we did it on slow, you could real time trade in the moment, or like pause and offer trade, that button up here. But Steven, how far back do you want to move?
No more than 10 to 15 spots.
Can we update this rule, by the way? We have to trade down in the original Dolphins draft picks, because if we keep getting picks and then keep having to trade down, this will never end, Steven. You know what I'm saying? Like if we trade down right now and then get a couple 4th rounders, but then we have to trade down from those 4th rounders and then get 5th rounders.
I know that's what the fun of this is.
Oh no.
I want to get like 30 picks today in one draft. Let's go. Let's have fun. This is a dream world. This is the oyster.
I hate you.
We're going to go ham here. No. Nah, see what else. I don't like that. I don't like that. Go to next team.
I want more picks.
I need more picks. Nope. 57's too. There we go. 62, 94.
No, but they have nothing. They just have like 7th.
There we go. We'll trade all that. because they love somebody here at 51, and they just got to have them. Did you get a 4th round pick next year too?
I'm trying to.
All right, take the 4th rounder off. There we go. Now just do it like that. Just do it like that. Hey!
I hate you, Steven. Can I pick this, or do I have to trade down from this too?
I want to trade down. I just want to keep trading and see what we could get.
Well, that was
stupid. This will never happen, but
too far down.
Only one trade available. All right, then let's just pick. Let's just pick somebody here. Let's go Sam Laporta. Go or trade down. What pick are we? 84?
Yeah.
Nobody else is available. Nobody's offering more trades.
Scoring lovers.
How do we go from 10 trades to no trades?
They're like, we're not falling for your jive.
All right, screw it. Yeah, just go do that. Do what you just did.
The trade?
Yeah.
Really? It's not the best
110,
value.
113, 159, and 224 for our one pick. Are you gonna get, yes? We'll trade. They're gonna trade their whole draft away for number. Let's go.
The game's.
This is just stupid now, but that's fine.
Now we have no teams to trade with.
All right, nobody's trading with us. That's fine. All right, let's go. Let's just draft some people here. Tre'Davious got to come off the board here. Is anybody trading? Oh, what do we have? What do we have? Let's go 117, 135. 187.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
GMs of the year.
I love that you're putting.
I need to be protected right now, honestly.
You need to be protected right now. Did we already get it? We already got a tight end, right?
Yeah, we got Schoonmaker and Trey Hodges-Tomlinson, tight end in the corner.
Right. Best offensive lineman on the board. We got screwed again. I'm getting screwed again. I should have went offensive lineman first. All right, we're gonna go with that Michigan guy.
No, it's a reach.
Is it a reach? Oh, the best player available. Screw it. Best player available. Wide receiver, right?
No.
Oh, wait. Dorian Williams. Go Dorian. Is Dorian 82? Let's go Dorian Williams. Just draft Dorian. Go KJ Henry.
Oh, yeah. Someone did say him earlier. Why not? We have all these picks. We still have 4. We have like 8 more picks, Steven. We can hold
Trade back.
D.
Trade back. Trade back. Trade back.
Look at we have 139, 184, 197, 219, 224, 225, and then 4 more picks.
Do one more trade. Do one more
round.
trade. Trade back one more time. This is just stupid. All right. What pick is this? 159.
The thing is, we can only just keep accumulating 7th rounders.
All right. See if you can get a 3rd rounder next year. Or a 4th rounder next year.
No.
I need you to add something to this. Who else wants to trade with us?
Steven's like, I need a trade.
Yes! Let's go. Okay. All right. Crap, we got so many picks. All right, what do we have so far? What have we drafted so far?
A tight end in Sam Laporta, Trey Hodges Tomlinson corner, and then what else did we get? If we just traded down everything besides that, did we get Luke Schoonmaker?
No.
No, we got Dorian Williams. We got a linebacker.
Yeah.
So we got a linebacker and a tight end and a corner.
And an edge rusher, too.
Oh, and an edge rusher. Yeah, we got KJ Henry. You're right. So should we get Dwayne McBride? Should we get
Jose said this is going to be the worst graded mock draft ever. Love it.
It's going to be terrible.
Let's go. Let's see how horrible we could make this. Are you trading back again?
I hate the value here, bro. Honestly. We shouldn't trade that again. Should we get a running back?
Yeah, who's available?
Dwayne McBride, Jacorian Bennett, Zach Hunt are probably our best players here.
Keaton Mitchell. Go Keaton Mitchell. I love that kid. Scroll down. He was there.
No, but Dwayne's better.
All right, well then go Dwayne. Screw it. Let's go Dwayne. We can draft both. The world is our oyster.
You probably can draft both.
Keaton Mitchell, cuz.
Because why not? Want to risk? Oh, what about Zach Hunt? Oh,
Drew
what about
Scruggs?
We got to go Scruggs, right?
Yeah, I got to go Scruggs. Oh, the UCLA guy's there too.
We could get him too. No, we missed out on Mafi.
Off
No.
the board.
Wow, he went up one. It's a good thing we got Scruggs. Then he definitely would have been gone.
Scroll down. Go Ricky Stromberg.
Love that. Oh,
Will Mallory.
Second tight end.
Yeah, screw it.
We have the picks.
We got to draft people. Muhammad.
No, we can wait on Muhammad. Let's get Cam Brown, another corner.
Okay.
Why not? Muhammad.
Let's get Stenson Bennett. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Send it in.
We have 4 more picks, Steve. Matt Landers. What? Oh, scroll on. Hunter Lupick, get a second fullback. TJ Bass is nice.
TJ Bass.
Or Sal DeVere.
Oh, wait. That's not good. That's not good value for the pick. We're at 238. Scroll up. Scroll up. Go Bobo. Go wide receiver, Jake Bobo.
Go Bobo.
Bubbles, make your feet feel fine. Bubbles, they cost $1.99.
Hey, 6'4". It's a nice size.
Yeah, we're gonna go Jake Bobo. Let's go. 245.
Nick Saltiveri, let's get an offensive tackle.
Let's go.
I like the Old Dominion man. Another fullback, perhaps. Did we get safety? We already have 2 corners, though.
I'm looking. Scroll up. Who's the best player available? What's the best value we can get at 248?
Muhammad Ibrahim or Hunter Lupick, probably.
Did we already draft a wide receiver? Yeah, we got Bubbo. Do we need another fullback or a halfback?
We only have Ingold. We just drafted Dwayne McBride. We could draft another running back, but then we'd have 6 running backs, including 2 from this draft.
Yeah, we don't need any more running backs. No more running backs.
Lupick? Fullback?
Yeah, first corner. Who's that first corner there? Alex Austin. Oh man, he's not good. Trade back.
Steven, there's nowhere to go.
There is a trade. There's a trade available. Get it. And give me
They just want to pick for free.
Yeah, we're not doing that BS. You think this is Giants? Think we're just gonna get a little bit of strange. I like that name. Daniel Scott, safety.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I would say he's
Daniel
nice. He
Scott.
ran a 4.45 at the combine.
It's not
Always
great value, but
always like a white safety, man.
66 grade, horrible grade. Absolutely.
Clayton Fitzgerald 3.0. Okay.
Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Stop.
Punter?
No. Scroll up. We already got two. We can't do. I'm thinking maybe wide receiver.
Fullback.
All right, fine. Go Hunter Luke. No, see you wanting it. Let's go. What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be a C plus. C plus.
Oh, that's what I said.
C plus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. A minus. Let's go. What? Who said I was going to have the worst Jose? No, sir. Look at that value, cuz. Look at that. Now, we don't have the money to sign all these guys, but it does not matter. Let's go. A minus, cuz. Download this B.
I just did.
Bad boy. What did we get? What did we get? We got a couple centers. We got a couple tight ends. We got Stenson Bennett. He was there in the 7th round. I had to go for him.
Dude, we had
Stenson was there in the 7th. I took him. We got a tackle. We got a safety. We got a couple running backs.
We had 9 7th-round picks, Steven.
9 7th-round picks. I think we got a lot of value there, though. Look, A, B plus, B plus, B minus, B. What? A minus. Let's go. We were both like C plus. Definitely. It's only at the highest. It'll be C. Steven, that shows you how bad PFF sucks. No, it doesn't.
And honestly, bro, it shows you kind of how skewed the draft rating is. Because in a bubble, you're right. This is the total value of what we just did is genius, you know? We got value after value, player after player, but you said you hit it right on the money, Steven. This is impossible because we can't sign all this. So then when you cut half these dudes, then your A minus turns into a C plus because we can keep I think we got half a team here.
So Juice Scruggs makes the 53 man. Sam Laporta makes the 53 man. Travius makes the 53 man. Dorian makes the 53 man. Bro, we got like 6 rookies on the team, cuz. Let's go. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm about it. About it. Stenson Bennett's gonna make it because what's his face is gonna get dropped. I'm not talking about Mike White either. Let's go. I just triggered half the fan base. Bobo would make the team.
I would honestly, out of this entire, I think it's 8 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of this 15-man draft class, I think Jake Bobo would be my number 1 jersey buy. This is Jake the greatest. Bobo? Dude, could you imagine just wearing a Bobo on the back of your back?
Bobo, make your feet feel fine.
Bobo number, I don't know, Bobo 19. That's just perfect, bro. Bobo 19.
I like it, though. I like it. Download this piece, man. I did. And I'm posting that. I am straight posting that.
Oh, Steven, it's gonna need
nothing but trades. And eventually we just couldn't trade no more. There was no more trades to make.
There was nowhere else to go.
We would have got killed if we made any more trades. You're not wrong.
Can you imagine
Steven.
how
That's
great
about
it
it.
would actually go?
Two-time NCAA champ probably bears down to Skyler and Mike on the bench. Good move. You're so whatever, noob. Whatever. Bubbo gets past the 4th round. He's a steal.
Let's go. See, everybody loves our draft, man. I think this might be the move. Chris Greer.
This was the best draft out of all the mocks that we had.
Did you imagine if we turned 4 picks into 15?
Chris Greer looks like a genius, cuz. I mean, I don't know what he does with the contracts, but he looks like a genius.
A gladiatorial fight to the death. Between
Stetson Bennett was there at 225 in the 7th round. I'm going to let a 2-time national champion quarterback just sit there in the 7th round? No. Yes, I'll go get you.
Duggan. Give me Duggan.
Nick Salvarati. I don't even know who that is, but
sounds very nice. He's like a tackle guard kind of guy from Old Dominion. He ran like a 5'2" or something.
I've seen some games at ODU. Our practice squad would be better than the worst team in the league. Oh man! All right, did you download it?
Yeah,
I love it, man. I love it. Fun show today, man.
Honestly, a blast.
That was fun. I enjoyed it. Tomorrow's Wildin' Out Wednesday. We'll have a good time with that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We will have a good time with that. Yeah, should be good, man.
I'm excited.
3 hours today. Let's go. If you guys enjoyed the show, go back and rewatch it. This last mock draft was just stupid and fun, but we did 7 mock drafts today?
Yeah, so aside from this one, we did 7 total. We did the trade back one, and then we did 6 total.
We were just messing around.
So we did 6 plus this one, so 7 total.
Love it. Love it. We broke the news today of Andrew Van Ginkel live right here on the show. Jason Sarney. Shout out to Jason Sarney. Love that he's part of the family and the team here. Family with a PH. Good stuff. Great show today. If you missed it, go back and rewatch. A lot of fun. Nando, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Check me out at Nando Talk on YouTube, Twitter. YouTube, we just got to 826 subscribers, so we're almost to 1,000. We're so close. Help me get over that little edge, and we'll get there to the monetization and keep providing good, positive Dolphins vibes. Same deal on Twitter. And yeah, thank you, Steven, for having me on, man. I love doing these mock drafts. This is really one of my favorite times of the year. It's full of hope, optimism. It's just a fun time for me, man. We can project it for a better Miami Dolphins. And if the GMs can be smart like us, if the front office, if the war room can make the good picks, Steven, we'll have a beautiful Dolphin season ahead. So that's why I
agree, man. I think so too. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, weekdays in the morning, right here on the Miami Sports Music YouTube channel. Hope you all enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Donate to the channel. If you like today's show, donate. It helps. Even if it's $1, it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. And if you're not able to donate, share the link. Let people know that we're here. Get those numbers up. Help us grow. And subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe, become a member of the channel, all of it. It all helps. It goes such a long way. For those of you who enjoyed the draft coverage, the Friday rounds 2 and 3, we will be having live draft coverage that night right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Jason Sarney will be here. Nando Talk will be here. I will be here, and probably have CB83 here as well. Along with a couple of other people. So we're going to have a nice little panel of the Miami Sports Music crew and friends. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys follow me at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Big shout out to Jason Sarney today. I can't say it enough. Love the guy, my brother from another mother, and I enjoyed doing the show today, man. Hot Take Tuesday was great, man. This Hot Take Tuesday was awesome.
It was a blast, man. Mock Draft Tuesday, man. Thanks for giving me the green light to go ahead with the show, man. William Hawks, by the way, shout out. Thanks for tuning in for tonight and today. But Steven, this is just a blast, bro. This is the blast doing this. We can do this more often, create a little mini war room, and the Dolphins.
I think we'll do one more mock draft show right before the draft because I think we'll have a really good understanding of kind of
after
where
pro
we're
days and everything. Yeah. We'll have the pro days. We'll have a little bit more clarity.
Yep. The mock draft board's going to change up. The people are going to get put in maybe better positions of where they are in the draft. So we'll have to see. I'm excited about it nonetheless. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for Wildin' Out Wednesday. We love Wildin' Out Wednesday. It's the show where you, the fans, control the narrative and control the panel. We get a full panel. You can come up here. You can time people out. You can kick people out. It's all fun and games. We love it. Wildin' Out Wednesday tomorrow. Full panel show right here on Clock Blockers. We, ladies and gentlemen, will see you tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Peace.
Thank you.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just a welcome, bro. Who that? To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.